Yeah, this is the theme now. Oh shit, I'm gonna listen. Welcome to another happy landing with me, James.
I'm here as well, I'm Luke.
I'm Pete, back again.
Rory.
Hope you enjoy episode 2.2.
Yeah,
How
so
are we going, guys?
welcome back to episode 2 of A Happy Landing. This is technically episode 3, but
Yes, you tell the story what happened.
I made a mistake and something happened with the file and here we are.
All about how Luke fucks up.
My life got flipped, turned upside down.
Wasted nearly 2 hours of that.
Yeah. Rory wasn't in the last one, so it was probably even better than
It
this.
was definitely better than what this would be.
No chance.
Rory's back now, and we also have some celebrity guests today.
Hello, man. I'm Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi, the director of the amazing Thor Ragnarok, and star What We Do in the Shadows. Great to have you on.
Oh, thanks, man.
And we've got Ricky Gervais here as well. We're in a bit of trouble getting him. It's a struggle, but he's here and he's happy to be here. We may get some quotes out of him later. So yeah.
We're going to be asking him about atheism, so just in case no one's heard him.
Oh, man.
We asked about
Well, see, now I would have been quite interested. I thought there was several atheist themes in Thor Ragnarok.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm Muslim.
Intriguing. Oh, what's that? You have to catch a flight, do you? What's the end of our celebrity involvement with Taika Waititi? What a shame. What a wonderful interview.
Ricky Gervais is off as well.
Can I just fact check that actually? Because Taika is actually Jewish. I've just looked up his Wikipedia.
That's a real bad fuck up then.
Yeah, his mother is of Russian Jewish heritage.
That's awesome.
Hope you're happy what you've done to the Gaza Strip tonight.
This will be known in infamy as the Rory incident. Rory incident.
My face.
Rory let himself down.
Should we use that as a nice segue into talking about Afterlife?
Ricky Gervais, our guest.
He's just left. He's on his way back down to Reading.
I've not seen Afterlife.
Haven't you?
Have you seen
No,
Afterlife?
Really, yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a super fan with Gervais. So
We all know.
yeah.
I'm a big fan too.
Yeah.
I do like
The ending he puts out, I think it's near golden, really.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything that I haven't liked, even the films that don't.
To be that consistent, I think is worth commending, really.
Yeah.
Very true.
But yeah, no, Afterlife, I was a mess through most of it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
cried.
I think I've avoided watching it to avoid being a mess.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm
I don't
actually
know.
doing it.
It's nice.
It's life affirming.
Yeah, I think it's one of those again, like cathartic, things. There's a lot of things you can relate to, and I think it feels good to let that out and watch it.
It's really fun as well.
Oh yeah,
I'm Luke's joking over
perfectly balanced.
there. Should take my penis out.
Crying
now.
again.
I think, if you want to do it, you just have to ask.
But yeah, I thought it was perfect in most ways. Afterlife, I thought it was very good. I watched it more as like a film than a Netflix thing because it's like 2 hours, isn't it?
How do you feel about a second season?
I don't know. I feel like it
I'm
wraps up
surprised.
very nicely.
I'm surprised that he's doing it, but everything else he's done has been 2 series and a special. But I'm not sure how that would fit in with Afterlife.
I'll watch it, but I am just sort of interested because I thought it was, to me, Afterlife was just a rounded story.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll get it right, but I'm surprised that that's happened.
Well, he needs the money, doesn't he?
Those mansions in Hampstead don't
Yeah.
by themselves. But
I don't know what he's going on for the second season. He's obviously never read Harry's Theorem.
I think Taika wants to say something.
Oh,
Are you
Taika
back?
back! Oh,
Hey guys, I actually really enjoyed Afterlife. It was a lot of fun, I thought. I didn't like the drugs and stuff, so that was quite sad. Alright, that's it.
Well, that's another happy landing. Exclusive right there. Taika Waititi, a fan of Afterlife. Would you consider?
But not of drugs.
But not of drugs. He does not support drugs. He wanted to very transparently get that message across.
Definitely supports drugs. Have you seen Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah.
See him. I think.
You mean, have you seen yourself, Tiger?
Oh, sorry, man, you. Have you seen me? Oh, I definitely like
I'm
drugs.
literally seeing you right now.
Oh,
At least our guests are real now. I mean, we had Apocalypse in the
Yeah,
last episode. It was sort of like. We might as well jump the shark in the first episode, really.
I mean, Anakin's cameo in the last one was dreadful.
Anakin was here.
Put your phone on silent.
I shall,
Don't.
my liege. Oh, that's a point, that's a point. I've had a message, that's actually a nice segue. So, obviously, Avengers Endgame's out now. We won't discuss spoilers, for all of us are not enlightened just yet.
Bruce Willis is dead.
I can believe it. First the
Come on,
cameo
man.
and then killing him off.
Thanos went at Ant-Man's anus, which I did not see.
Pretty mad. Opening weekend, it's already broken $1 billion.
1.2 bill.
Yeah, that's mad.
Mental.
Like most
Yeah.
films struggle to get that in their entire run, to get it on the opening weekend. Do we think this could be a candidate for highest grossing film of all time? Do we think that it can consistently keep this jump up? Because I've been looking at tickets and stuff because I'm going to go see it again.
Yeah.
And it is still looking quite full. And most people I talk to still haven't seen it.
I've been wanting to see it again since I saw it
Yeah.
end of last week, and like, it's been so hard to find tickets. I'm
Yeah.
finally seeing it again tomorrow, but is it 2.7?
2.7 to beat Avatar. I mean, it's high, but I mean, like if they were to do,
It carries on. It has like a long release.
if they double what they did this weekend, they've already got most of the journey done,
Yeah.
and they've got long to go.
Avatar wasn't even that good. Sorry.
No, it's not. No,
I don't get
I
why.
wouldn't even say not that good. It was pretty
I don't.
incredibly shit.
What was like? Why did it?
It just got very well marketed, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the
It
end
was
of
the 3D
Yeah,
aspect
it's the
as
house
well.
of a 3D. Yeah.
They re-released the special edition at the cinema. Did that tie into the budget? Not the budget, the
Box office.
Yeah, I think it did because I remember reading about it, and like I know it had 2 releases, and but apparently on the second release it didn't actually make that much. So it didn't make that much.
Because I didn't know if second releases ever actually tie into the original box office. Like Captain Marvel's, that's still out? Because that's still
I
getting.
haven't seen
Yeah,
it yet.
it's still out. Yeah.
Because I know Black Panther was still, because when it's listed green, if you go to like the box office records, it's still in circulation, and that was still on there for like ages afterwards. But I know sometimes it's like, as long as there's one cinema showing a film, it's still going. I don't know. If it's consistent, this could be.
Yeah, they'll keep it on for.
I-
I could see it being like 2 months release nearly.
I honestly
It's been
thought,
for ages. Yeah.
I thought Force Awakens was honestly going to get highest grossing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it grew so quickly and it kept going, it was
Yeah.
still up on that, it kept jumping every week. And it's third, I mean, James Cameron's got to be happy, he's still got,
Yeah.
Avatar and Titanic, he's got the frame.
What's the? There's like a really old film that's like top 10, isn't it? Because
Gone for the
inflation.
Wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
isn't that within like inflation
Yeah.
and stuff?
It effectively is the highest grossing film
Oh really?
Yeah.
in all time. Adjusted for inflation. And that's the thing, because when you adjust things for inflation, Avatar made 2.7 bill, but
Yeah.
that's only because you charge so much for a ticket.
Yeah.
If you're going to go to actual tickets bought, Gone with the Wind has like a, you could argue that the world's population saw it.
Yeah.
So it is pretty unbeatable. But if you look at the top 10 highest grossing films adjusted for inflation, modern films are starting to creep into that. So you could argue we are on the road to maybe that being altered.
Wasn't Gone with the Wind racist as well or something?
I mean, when was it released?
Yeah, like. Hang on. 39.
I
Was
think
it like-
everything was racist
It's
back
like-
then.
I don't think it was the film's fault.
It was offensive if you weren't racist back then.
To be fair, it was the film that the first African American to win an Academy Award from it.
So of all films in the most racist era, you've got like for the least racist. Oh dear.
We did speak about it on the one that got deleted, but we haven't spoken about Star Wars.
Star Wars.
What, the trailer?
The trailer.
Yeah.
The trailer was cool.
Did we all cry?
No.
Cried.
I was very close.
I
Why?
screamed.
Have you seen
What-
that guy
what was
cry?
there to
Have you seen
cry
that
about?
guy who got attacked by like right-wing people for crying at the Star Wars trailer?
No.
To be fair, what's there to cry about
Yeah.
the trailer? I just like,
But it's good.
she's jumped over a fighter!
It was very good.
I'm very excited.
It was Lando.
super excited.
Yeah, Lando did that. Yeah, that was
Oh, so he starts to fall
I didn't
apart.
cry though. I was
I saw you.
like, Lando!
rose from Solo.
Yeah.
That might be why he's laughing. It's not that. He's crying for fucking hell. You can see like the black and stuff. He's like, oh!
I almost cried at Rogue One.
You always crying in Rogue One? No, I'm joking. I'm
Cried was so shit, am I right?
Rory is the Joker of the pack, as you can tell.
That's me. Tyker's got something to say as well.
What did Tiger think of the Star Wars trailer?
The trailer was good, man. I saw it early because I'm quite good friends with J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams.
You're my good friend, J.J. Yeah, he showed me the trailer of his house in California. It was he served me quesadillas at the same time. It was fun. Alright.
Are you from New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you sound a bit.
What are you trying to say?
He's from New Zealand, like, I am from Africa.
I don't know what
What are you doing? You are mocking black people.
Chloe Grace Moretz starring in the Tom and Jerry movie.
What was that, sorry?
Chloe Grace Moretz is going to star in the Tom and Jerry movie.
Live action.
The Tom and Jerry movie.
She would be playing both partners.
Is it like a live action?
I don't know.
Oh, actually, no.
I'm just reading headlines, unfortunately.
Oh.
I'm not here for the deets.
Well,
I don't know if she was still acting. She had like a break at one point, didn't she?
She was very heavily pushed, wasn't she?
Yeah,
At the start of her career.
that's the thing though, is Hit Girl happened. She
Yeah.
was in Kick-Ass and it was like, oh my god, a kid saying cunt, push her to the moon.
I
she
will
like,
watch that Tom and Jerry movie though, for sure.
Have you seen anyone seen the Tom and Jerry movie? It's
Yes,
nice.
I used to love that film. I'd watch it like weekly.
Yeah. Weekly. Oh shit, people should watch
Tom
Tom and
and Jerry
Jerry again.
Tom
Tom and Jerry!
What
Yeah.
was the last one she was in? Neighbours 2.
No, she's in the thing that's just come out.
Oh,
Greta.
God.
Huh?
Film called. is it
Oh,
called
Red
Greta?
Joan.
No, Greta.
Greta.
Oh, Greta, yeah.
The weird, creepy lady. Something about a bag.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
I've got to admit, I wasn't a fan of Neighbours 2 or Bad Neighbours really.
I quite like
I really like those.
Yeah, I think
it's just
so
that
funny.
I'm really not a Seth Rogen fan.
No.
What?
Yeah, even like Knocked Up, I just don't get it.
Superbad.
Superbad, but that's not a Seth Rogen film.
But he's in
He
it.
wrote that.
And the thing is, most of the best quotes don't have him. Like him,
that's true.
and also, okay, I can extend the olive branch. When he's a side character, I think he can be really funny.
Yeah.
When he plays characters that are really unrealistic and out there, like the nerd in Fanboys, where he's like a Star Trek fan,
Oh, yeah.
that's like not Seth Rogen at all. So that's funny. But when he's just playing himself, and it's basically just it's him lazily turning up to a film.
Express.
It's just funny, I don't know why.
Even in the interview, like James Franco's funnier out of the two. He's
Oh,
not
James Franco. That's my favourite James Franco.
and he's not even a comedy actor.
Yeah. I like this is the end as well.
Yeah, this is the end. It's very good.
J.J. Abrams, your good friend,
Shit.
admits that there's more to the story of Rey's parents in The Rise of Skywalker.
Take that, Brian Johnson.
This is going to be, isn't there?
Alright.
And I think
Just saying, like, they built it up for ages and then it's like, oh, they were junkers or something like that. Like, fuck that shit.
But that's the thing though, JJ's the one that started this story. He's going to be, because from what I understand, it was like he had a treatment for episode 8 and Ryan Johnson basically went like, and now he's done to Ryan Johnson what he did to him. He's like, well, the tables have turned, it seems. Let's put my script back in. So I think he's just going to try and revisit all the themes that would have been happening in his version of episode 8 and 9. And go back to like making Rain cool. I reckon Snoke may even be involved.
Yeah.
As long as the Porgs are involved.
Snokes, I mean, we're allowed to talk spoilers, I assume it came out a long time
Yeah,
ago.
it's old enough.
Yeah.
If you haven't
Isn't it
watched
like a
it,
3-week or
Snoke's-
something?
Snoke's death was a bit like
Yeah.
anticlimactic, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
I loved that scene though.
It was cool.
I love the whole Rey and Kylo Ren turning back to back. That was insane.
Yeah.
And I was so desperate for them to team up. So when they did, I was like, yeah! But then he did the whole looking at the throne and stuff. But then it's all because I was watching Last Jedi the other day. It was on Sky Movies. You know, some people watch TV. And Kylo Ren's such an odd character because most of the time I do find myself on his side because he isn't really the bad guy because his entire argument isn't kill people for the sake of killing people for the sake of hate or for the Sith. He's all about destroying everything in the past. And what he's looked at is the Jedi don't work, the Sith don't work, the whole system, politically and religiously, doesn't work for the whole Star Wars universe. He wants to rebuild it, he's got an idea.
Yeah.
He's just methods are the ones that make him
It's just
questionable.
a bit-
Whereas the Resistance are the ones that are holding on to an idea that has constantly failed time and time again, you know.
Yeah.
It's true.
So, yeah, that made that.
Give fascism a go.
Let's give it a little go.
Well, David Bowie said that.
Did he?
He said something like, I don't want to misquote, something like, fascism isn't always a bad idea. I'll have a look.
We're terribly sorry to the David Bowie estate.
I really like David Bowie, so I don't want to.
Offend him.
Don't want to
Oh,
fuck
yeah,
this up.
Daily Mail article.
I just-
Well, fascist.
He's strange.
Maybe he was black.
Right.
No collaborator of Sterling.
Let's have a look. If I've made it up, I'm very sorry.
Please make David Bowie a fascist. I need something else to make me love him.
Oh, she's... Chloe Grace Moretz is voicing Snow White in an upcoming animated film.
What?
Apparently.
And they've done Snow White.
I know, I don't know, that's just what it says on Wikipedia. Wikipedia. Wikipedia.
No, yeah.
No.
He said he was very interested in fascism, which isn't the same as agreeing with it.
Yeah, not.
Well, that's the thing though, is like you could even say, the thing is you can make 2 points there. You could say he actually had a general interest
Yeah.
in a potentially new fascist system, but you could also say the same way loads of Brits, I mean, like even me, I'm obsessed with Nazis. Like, I look at that whole, no, like loads of people do. British people are obsessed with Nazis. That's why they're so popular in culture and media, like Nazi zombies and so on, and there's so many war films, because there is this obsession, because it's so different, it's so separated from how we live. We don't live under a fascist government, we never really have. Not for like generations. And so we look at something like that, and it's just unbelievably fascinating that it ever happened.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same
Horrific,
thing with
but
like.
fascinating.
I enjoy watching people on YouTube and stuff, but I massively disagree with, just because it's most of the time just funny or interesting. Like Alex Jones is funny, isn't he?
Oh god.
As a
Frogs
person.
Yeah,
He is funny, yeah.
It's very funny.
That one where he's running, I don't know what the clip is, but he runs after that person. So
Like Paul Joseph Watson as well. It's just funny to read, to listen to what he thinks. But
Do you even read?
a bit like Carl Pilkington.
yeah, it is the same kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know that they're doing an Addams Family film?
Yeah, the animated one.
Yeah, no, Oscar Isaac's.
That's the only thing I don't like about it.
The animation style's weird.
Yeah, and the fact it's anime, like Oscar Isaac looks like Gomez
Yeah,
Adams, so why not
Yeah.
do a
great.
live action film?
Yeah.
I love the live action ones from the 90s.
So great.
Family and values, I love
Uncle
both.
Fester.
Yeah. And Raul Julia is amazing as Gomez Adams.
Yeah.
A bit of fangirl in there.
Charlize Theron is in it as well.
Charlize Theron.
Is she?
Finn Wolfhard.
Have you seen that new film? Isn't it? When are we going to get an end of these sort of? I mean, we never will. Because they're always been like really lazy horror films. Because we've got that Curse of La Llorona.
La Llorona.
That thing.
Curse of
It's the next. Ooh, from the Conjuring universe.
Yeah.
Like, the first Conjuring was shit. Let alone adding more.
Whoa!
No.
Whoa!
Conjuring's like the only decent horror film there's been.
Conjuring one was well.
The Conjuring is boring as fuck. And then let alone the fact that it's just spawned a massive franchise off it, which is just even like, you know, when you have a bad film and you make even worse sequels, that's just like a
Conjuring 2.
I genuinely, I went to go watch them because I want to like them because I want there to be good quality. I don't get it. To me, it's just typical teens getting screaming at jump scares and shit. And I was like, the story's shit, the jump scares are shit, the design of it's shit, the acting's shit. I was like, it's the only time I've like, oh, okay, there's plenty of films I dislike. As long as, you know, I've got a blog. I'm always defending what people consider bad movies. But then there's the other side of the coin. It means that via that, my logic, I have to tear down films people give too much credit. So, like, if I see a film like The Conjuring and people are saying it's like a game-changing horror, and I'm like, it's really
game changing. It was just good, I thought.
Yeah, it felt like
Well,
something
don't-
different
yeah,
to
fun,
the
yeah.
standard horror film.
Yeah.
such a great disagree.
Like
Which
the-
is fine, you know.
the
I'm
Annabelle
fine with
stuff.
people liking it because at the end of the day, as long as I'd be more mad it going through the budget, being made, and no one liking it because that's just a waste of money. If there's people that's got an audience, that's good, and it means there's an audience there for it. I just personally thought it was unforgivably bad.
I've never seen it, so maybe I should watch it and get the casting
You
vote.
should, yeah.
Yeah, the 2v2. Or 3v1. And I was, yeah.
You sure you'll be alright watching a horror film on your own?
Well, I might just hire someone to watch it with me.
I watched Alien Covenant recently.
Oh yeah.
I kind of enjoyed it while I was watching it, but it made no sense in reference to everything else in the series.
See, this is where the whole defend comes in. I'm a fan of Covenant.
Really?
Because I love Prometheus. And I think it's a really good sequel to Prometheus.
I love
See,
Prometheus.
Prometheus was fun. Idris Elba's accent was awful. It was so bad.
Gabby!
I don't get what.
One you love.
Like, he's in The Wire and he does a good American accent. Why make him do a Texan accent? He obviously
Why is Idris Elba rapping now?
He's always been rapping, to be fair.
He's done a rap song and he's putting on this like Jamaican accent,
Yeah.
and it sounds awful. I hate it.
I quite enjoy
Beer
it.
can. Beer can.
Yeah, big DJ.
It was always beer
Yeah.
can. In school, it was always beer can.
Beer
can. And every time I try saying beer can, it just
Big.
I can never hear it right.
Yeah.
But
Big can.
yeah, no, I was a big fan of Prometheus. I think I love the story of David, Michael Fassbender.
That was good,
And I like that being continued into the second film. And I really want a sequel because the whole, the alien embryos he's dropping on the ship. And stuff.
Isn't that just a prequel to the first
From what I understand, the plan that is it's now at a point where, well, it looks like we'll never get the film because of course Disney, Fox, and I don't think Covenant did very well both commercially or artistically, so.
They've said they've got plans for the Alien franchise.
Because Ridley Scott wanted to do a third one called Alien Awakening. I believe that's the title. And the idea was this would involve the remaining engineers, the ones from the planet that he destroys in Covenant. They would be trying to track him down because, revenge for killing the species. Just a little low stakes. and then it would lead to them going to the planet from the first alien. Their battle would lead to the shipwreck, would lead to the space jockey being left on the planet, would lead to the eggs being left there.
Yeah.
It would resolve everything and you could presumably end it where Alien starts. It would round the prequel trilogy off and then it would start.
Yeah.
But I won't admit it's the perfect Covenant at all, but I just don't really get the ire it gets because it's like there's so many other films that I think are very much equals to but are enjoyed because it's coherent to me. I like the film. You say about not making sense to me.
Well, I didn't like what they did with Prometheus anyway, making it like a prequel thing, like creating the alien in the first place. I just thought that was a bit.
See, my only real issue is the tech. Because everything's so advanced in Prometheus and Covenant, so we've got to go from that and downgrade to 70s space tech in
Well, that's like the Star Wars prequel thing, isn't it? It's not like
shiny and
everything's like better technology.
Yeah. I do think Revenge of the Sith does a good job of being a transitional film between those two styles. Like throughout the film, you move on from sort of the prequel design onward more and more into original trilogy. I think they do a really good job of that.
Revenge of the Sith is a really good Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
it's great. Yeah.
I'll defend
I
that.
still like all of them. Like,
To
I don't hate
me,
any
they're
of
all
them.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Phantom Menace, but I can watch it.
I prefer Phantom Menace to Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones is like the last how long is it? Last 40 minutes is good,
Yeah.
and the rest is terrible.
I love Phantom Menace.
Well, I like Obi-Wan going to Kamino.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's probably in the last one. It was.
Master Cypher Shields.
It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Yeah, the whole.
Meeting a player with a knife and fork.
Obi-Wan would kill me if he saw me doing this. Yeah, I know fucking why. You're a fucking knob. The whole romance thing in Attack of the Clones, if you took that out, it'd be such a bad film. And I've said before about the whole, Anakin's meant to protect her, yet he takes her to a massive open field, even though he knows bounty hunters are all looking for her. Like, let's bring her to a massive place where she can just be a running target, but look at us, look how gaily we run through the grass. We can jump on these big warthog things.
He means happy, he doesn't mean.
Yeah, happy, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I need the word, I actually mean before people analyse my evident bigotry.
Well, we know we've got at least one person out there analysing what we're saying. So
Yeah, one person, 40-something views, someone's watching these. Someone's watching these who aren't us.
someone's transcribing, I reckon.
If so, can you send me a copy? I need it from portfolio.
Yeah.
Did anyone watch, going back onto the Alien, did anyone watch Predator, the newest one?
Oh, the Predator.
No. Is that the big one? Is
I never saw it.
Is that the one with the big predator?
Yeah, there's the Mega Predator.
There's a Mega Predator in it?
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
big. I went to go see it.
Oh, you described it, you're right.
Oh,
If he was in it, he'd be up there.
See, that is like where I really get smudged. It's a shit film, but it is very fun. There's a lot of very fun things that happen in it, but overall it does shit on the series. That's the problem. It's like oh crap, no. But at the same time, I can't say throughout the whole film I wasn't enjoying myself.
Yeah.
It's like, it's pretty turbo from the start. They jump. They don't really wait any time. You get blood and guts pretty instantly. And then it's the humour. Like you've got Keegan-Michael Key from Key and Peele. He plays. You've got Boyd Holbrook, who's in Logan, plays the guy. And he's sort of the main character. He's playing Dutch in it. He's the new Arnold. And he gets sort of put into this group of ex-military people who have all been set. I think they're all basically being set to be like the bottomized. They're the loony crew. I think they call them loonies.
They've all got PTSD.
Yeah, they call themselves the loonies. They've all got problems. Like Thomas Jane, his entire character, his joke is he's got Tourette's.
Oh.
And on paper that does sound terrible, but there are pretty funny lines in. There's a bit where someone jumps him up and he just says, "Oh, fuck me in the ass with an eye park." I was just like, you can't not laugh at that.
Okay, I'm gonna go watch that tonight.
Yeah,
I really like the first two Predators.
Yeah, first two are great.
Predator
I really
one's
like them.
unreal.
Predator 1 is like insanely
I
good.
love the first one. I've got to admit, I'm not a massive fan of the second one.
I thought it was
I
funny.
don't really like the second one just because at the end the Predator gives him a medal, doesn't he?
Yeah.
From what I remember. I thought that was just fun.
Wasn't he gives him a gun, doesn't he?
Does he?
But like a very old American
Yeah,
gun.
he gives him
So
something.
it's like proof that predators have been around for like centuries.
Yeah.
Not really, I can't really remember the second one. I just remember it being alright.
I just remember really liking the fact that when they go onto the Predator ship, there's an alien skull.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I was like, I really like Alien versus Predator, the first one.
Yeah.
I do. I think
I like it.
I think it's a solid fun action film.
I think it's fun.
I
It's
think
stupid, but
The
it's good.
acting's so bad in it as well.
Yeah,
It's just fun to watch.
the bit where that's the thing is it's all scenes, so it's like the bit where Predator turns around and like slices the Xenomorph's face and all that. You can't not be like, wow.
Yeah, that was cool. The
And
action's great.
I was about to say, I just thought Alien vs Predator was a nice, solid action movie. I thought it was fun enough to justify its existence. AVP 2 is cancer.
I haven't
It
seen
is.
it.
I've watched it.
Like, yeah,
I've seen it.
that's
Yeah.
the drop. I'll defend Alien vs Predator to the end of the day. But AVP 2, there is no defending it. It's such a strange production story because you've got these directors, the brothers Strauss. They directed it, and as far as I know, it's their directorial debut.
Yeah, it is.
And they like run like it was like an effects company or something, and it's like Fox went, that's who we want to have franchise to. Just two people with no directing.
Guess the other film that they've done.
Oh god, I don't know.
It's another sci-fi film. It's a massive flop.
Skyline.
Yeah.
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 And they did Beyond, or they were involved with Beyond Skyline, which I didn't even realise was a sequel.
I didn't know they made a sequel to that. I watched that film. I thought it was awful.
Oh, but that's the thing though. Skyline is one of those films you find in the budget bin. It is a proper £1
Yeah.
shit budget, cheap movie. But they lucked out because they got, I think it was Momentum Pictures. It was like one of their last sort of let's get a film out there. And because they were a semi-big studio, they managed to be able to market it really well. Because you look at Skyline, it's got a nobody cast. There's like
it's got Turk from Scrubs in it.
oh well, there we go. It's basically isn't it? It's got like a no-one cast, like hardly any crew or anyone knows. It was just luck because that was distributor, and because of the distributor, it got a massive release. Because I remember being advertised loads in like the cinema and
I
online.
remember seeing it.
It
I've never watched it.
It had a big presence. I didn't go to see it. I got it on DVD, and yeah, very, very poor. But that's the thing is I guess that sort of shows the power marketing has over. But that's some people will avoid it because if you over market it, people will presume it's bad.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this last time, but Free Fire's Amy Jump is writing Tomb Raider 2 script.
Yeah.
Did we mention that last time?
I know. We talked about Tomb Raider 2, which confirmed that it's happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, cool. Because the first one was good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
I have no idea who Amy Jump is.
She wrote Free Fire.
I like Free Fire, so
Yeah.
that's a good sign.
I like Free Fire.
Yeah. That was fun. I liked how
Yeah.
Fire was really realistic.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like shot dead. The whole story is they all get shot at various points, and the whole story is all of them just bleeding out at various points.
What is Free Fire about?
It's basically an arms deal gone wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Watch it, it's good. It's
That's what we can really say. All of them meet in the warehouse at the beginning of the film, and that's where they are for the entirety of it.
Yeah.
And
It's got Armie Hammer.
Yeah.
it's got Brie Larson.
it's got Shelton Copley in it as well. He's really good.
Oh, he's
Cillian
good.
Murphy.
It's got a guy from Control as well in it.
Oh,
What's
really?
it called?
Cheeky little name drop again.
Hmm.
Control. It was my favourite film.
Is it Jack Rayner?
We need Aiden Jetworth. we need Ian here, so we can just be like, so James, do you like Batman Forever? Then we've gone full circle. Then got all the references.
Yeah.
I love Cillian Murphy. I think he's one of my favourite actors.
Yeah, I like it.
Sam Riley.
Do you know what? Oh, Sam Riley. Do you know, have you seen Sunshine?
Oh, no, I've seen
I've never
bits of
actually
it.
watched it.
Danny Boyle.
Yeah.
It's really well. Okay.
It's-
It's good until there's a point where they like introduce a villain that just makes no sense at all. Like the villain at the start of it is basically the sun. They're trying to get rid of the sun or reignite the sun because it's burning out.
Yeah.
And there's like a mission before that happens in the film, and it like failed, and they find the ship, and then the captain of that is mysteriously suddenly alive, and he's trying to kill them all basically.
So I've only ever seen bits of Sunshine, and that's the problem. You see loads of scenes out of context.
Yeah.
You get like a really weird image of the film. Because I remember there's like a scene where one of them's like standing in front of the sun. Or something
Yeah.
like that.
There's this guy's like obsessed with looking at the sun, but it's really bright for whatever reason. And he gets left.
I wonder why.
He gets left on another ship, and then to kill himself, he just looks directly into the sun without anything
That's a bit bad.
stuff in it, and then yeah.
Reminds me of an episode of Doctor Who.
See,
42.
This is the thing, because I'd seen it ages ago. I got confused between the Doctor Who episode and this. I was like, why aren't they getting hypnotised by the sun?
Yeah.
What happened? Yeah.
Oh, you know, back when Doctor Who used to be good.
That was such a good episode, that one.
I love that series. Series 3, I think, is the best one.
Yeah.
I'm currently in the midst of a marathon Doctor Who.
Nice.
Very early on. I've only just gotten to episode 3 of season 1. I've gone all the way back to. I'm not going back classic Who. I like classic Who, which is. I really can't be fucked because it's so different to the modern stuff. So I'm doing a revival marathon. Started with Eccleston. God, I love Eccleston.
Eccleston was great.
Yeah.
I think Tennant was better, but Eccleston was
Tennant's my favourite.
I think there's some bits where Eccleston sort of overacts it a bit.
I think you've got a whole thing with Series 1, mate. It's like a. Once Series 2 was out, that's when they've got a lot less production time, but it's a year by year basis. Series 1, they had all that time to planning to going, this is how we're going to introduce the series. Like, you know, they got Billy Pye before he passed on, they've got Christopher Eccleston, they're like, well, he's a name, he's been in a few things. So, you know, they've made steps to make it. And I think Series 1 is like near perfect. Like, I can't say it was a bad episode.
No.
Oh, yeah, true.
You know, it was very carefully planned out, and they introduced some new characters, but they also have the old. And the whole idea of the time war thing was like really because it was like now we've got a massive plot arc that you know we can always refer back to. Season 2, I don't mind.
Is it season 2 with where they basically find the devil?
Yeah,
That's a good episode.
Yeah, I like those. I like the finale. People would say because the thing is, loads of hardcore Whovians. They get really irate about the whole Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat era because you know T Davies, they're always like, oh, they dumbed it down. So I'm like, yeah, but it's good though at least.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Whittaker series where you got the Space Amazon and shit like that, and making decisions that I could bitch about like the series for ages. I mean, there are good bits, but the quality has gone down so much over the years. But yeah, but they'll argue. But at the end of the day, at the end of season 2, you get a massive war in London between the Cybermen and the Daleks, and it was just like, yeah, this is good. It was
Pretty
fun.
cool, yeah.
It was epic to watch, and that's because I wasn't a massive fan of Moffat. I think there was a few good episodes that got out, but overall I thought his series were always hit and miss.
Yeah.
Whereas to me with T Davies, I always felt like you can argue about the artistic quality, but if you look at the series he does, he knew how to structure a series because every series of T Davies's always, when you got to the end, felt climactic. It felt big. So you had the first series, you had the Dalek armies. Second series, Cybermen versus Daleks. Series 3, the Master's back. Series 4, Davros is back. You know, everything always felt like this is big. This feels like it's high stakes. And it's big. Whereas when Stephen Moffat did his first series, now fair enough, Series 5 has grown on me loads.
Well, is that the one where they go to like Roman times? Yeah, I like that.
So the last thing is, I wasn't a fan when it was first on TV because it was so different. Because they made loads of effort to make it as different as possible in the first series, and I was like, oh, that sucks. And the finale was just so low stakes. It was just them running around a museum in different points in time. But going back, I think it's really well written. I think Series 5 is really strong.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing that I miss really from sort of today's series. That massive climactic feel at the end of the series. Something that feels big. And I just miss that whole, you'd go to school the next day. Or not the next day, you'd go on the Monday after. And everyone would watch it. Everyone would watch Doctor Who. And you'd be like, oh, do you watch Doctor Who on the weekend? And everyone would go, chat about it. I think I sort of missed that because it is a big show and it's got a massive. It is very culturally important. It's one of Britain's biggest airports. So yeah, someone please take over because I'm not things to say.
Ben Affleck directing and starring in a World War II film, Ghost Army.
Ghost Army.
I like Ben Affleck as a director.
Yeah, he's a great director.
I watched Gone Baby Gone.
Yeah.
Really good. Really enjoyed that film. Sort of, I don't know, there's too many twists at one point I thought. I don't know, have any of you seen that?
No.
Well, okay. Don't know how we're going to talk about it. Basically, it's just like, it'll be like, okay, here's a resolution to the story. Oh, no, another twist. Here's a resolution to the story. Twist again.
Yeah.
It's like, alright, Ben, chill out.
I'm sort of on a little break from Ben Affleck at the moment, of which I shall revisit. But I am on a little break because I think the whole Batman thing sort of soured him a little bit for me because I liked his portrayal as Batman. It's just, I go back and I watch him and I'm just like, oh god. And you think, how did that happen? How, with the actual quality of the film and so on, how did that happen? You have all that money, how does it go with that? Because, like Batman v Superman, I feel like it was a series of very well made scenes but put together terribly.
Just hate how badly animated it all is.
Oh, the CGI.
So terrible.
PS2 Steppenwolf.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Like, why can't they sort it out?
Yeah, that's the thing is they rushed so hard to try to catch up with Marvel.
Yeah,
They should have just
Yeah.
because Marvel laid out the foundations. And all they had to do was follow. Yeah, people would be like, oh, you're plagiarising the idea. But that's
it
how
works. Like,
it works. All they had to do was do an individual film for every character they wanted. Have like a running theme behind them, and then that catches up in like their crossover. Like Steppenwolf turns up in Justice League, and we're like, who the fuck's that?
Yeah, this is what I mean.
What
Like,
the fuck's that all about?
300 million budget, and they can't get better than PS2
Just swiveled his laptop around
like,
us.
I don't get it.
Like, would it have been a very expensive cast? But Ben Affleck probably cost a bit, but
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
who else is Henry
Jason
Cavill?
Momoa, hadn't become very big by that point.
It's not like a
Henry
name.
Cavill.
Or should DC have taken the loss to Marvel in a big group together, joining universe thing, and tried to do something of their own?
Oh, what happened all DC crossover? That'd be ballsy.
That happens in the comics.
With
Yeah, I'd love
multiverses,
that.
it's
Wouldn't
always
it?
possible.
I would love that, but I think Marvel probably wants to stay.
Or
away
maybe
from
even if
now.
DC didn't bother with like a multiverse and just decided they were gonna like revamp them in another way to try and catch up with Marvel.
I think DC is currently in that sort of area because they are sort of rebranding their universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not at the moment it is unclear. We don't really know what they're doing, but it is because Affleck's done as Batman. So his version of Batman is gone now, done, finished.
Yeah.
But then there's a whole thing about Henry Cavill. We don't know where that really is because people are saying like, oh, he's done Superman, but then he's coming out and saying no.
Yeah.
He's good Superman.
I
really
took
good.
things the best Superman.
Yeah.
I love Man of Steel. I thought that's one of the really good
Man
ones.
of Steel's really good, yeah.
And I think like he's the first one I've been convinced. Yeah, that's a Kryptonian. He's gonna kick ass and so on. Wonder Woman was good. Aquaman was, I'll say, passable.
Yeah, it was fun. I thought I really enjoyed it, but then I was like, it's kind of stupid. And it's just the way my mates described it is wet Thor. It's kind of the exact same story.
Shazam was awesome.
Shazam was amazing.
Should I see
yeah.
it? Should I go and see it?
Shazam's really, I enjoyed
Shazam
Shazam more than Captain Marvel, and I'm a big Marvel
Yeah.
fan. So.
Yeah, I thought Shazam. Shazam probably my second favourite film I've seen this year. First one was Endgame, hands down. I don't know, because Endgame brought out things that I had involuntary reactions to Endgame.
Yeah.
I was a mess.
Can we do some Endgame talk? I'm well up for that. Just avoiding spoilers.
Yeah.
I'm buzzing.
And that's the thing is, I'm a massive fan, but I never usually try to go into that. I like to sort of avoid that and not get, because then you get let down and so on. But Endgame was just, it was, I don't know, because there were pitfalls, but just as a culmination, it was a perfect culmination of that story. Infinity Saga, as they're now calling it, and I just, I saw things in that film I never thought I'd get to see myself. And I lost my shit. That's all I can say. And I cried at that after. I was a mess. It was an experience. It wasn't a film.
Like I found just fan service. Like it's so many tiny moments. Like if you followed all the 21 films before it, which if just sometimes even throwaway lines in those films, which have kind of just become known to the fans. You do need to have seen every single.
That's the thing. That's where people will argue.
To fully appreciate it anyway.
Yeah, that's where people will argue about films. Because I think, even if you haven't watched anything before Endgame at all, it's still a very impressive film.
Yeah.
So I think there'll always be that appreciation, but then you're going to get people that are funny about it. Like I've got my parents as an example. They're funny about Endgame and Infinity War, because they watched Infinity War and they couldn't follow it at all.
Yeah.
They were just getting angry because they were just it was the first time they'd seen Tom Holland's Spider-Man, because they hadn't seen Civil War or Homecoming. So they were saying, "Oh, Spider-Man's changed." I was like, "Oh yeah, he's in these now. You haven't seen." Oh no. And then I was thinking, "Why aren't the Avengers together?" Because they broke. Oh, you haven't seen Civil War. And then who's that purple guy? Oh, he's appeared a few times. Oh, you haven't seen that either. And then it was just sort of oh yeah, they have really. There's a lot of things that it's you have to watch other things to really get what's going on. Because if not, it is just sort of it's action and colours with the odd funny lines.
It's definitely just made for the fans.
Yeah. It's true with everything really. You can't really just, if you watch a TV series, you couldn't jump in on episode 7 and just go, I don't get what's going on here.
Yeah.
I hardly agree with that. I think that's the only problem is because it's a multiverse. Each film is a multi-film universe. Each film is a sequel to the last, and people don't see it like that because they are different properties. So you'd say I would say Incredible Hulk is a sequel to Iron Man. I wouldn't say it's a separate movie. I'd say it's a sequel because it's all part of one story. So you have to watch them together. You have to know what's happening in the Hulk. You have to know who Thunderbolt Ross is. You have to know that Tony Stark appears at the end to say we're putting together a team. Then I'd say the next one's Iron Man 2. Is now he knows about the Avengers. We have Nick Fury turning up. Then it ends with Thor. And I think if you watch them as sequels, it feels like sure. With sequel logic, you're sort of well, the characters from the last film.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you watch them they are film after the other and so on, then it becomes the real experience. You get when you get to Endgame, you can appreciate it.
It's fully worth it.
Yeah. And that's the problem is because they're all different properties, people miss out on ones. Like my mum, she was like, "Oh, I like Iron Man, but I'm not a massive fan of Captain America." And I was like, "Okay, don't watch Avengers."
Yeah.
I was like, it's you're only gonna get half of it. I think it's frustrating because you have Iron Man is a rounded film that anyone can watch.
Yeah.
The later ones not so much. But then going off that token, you wouldn't just jump in at Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
You would start off either at New Hope or Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
But Endgame was just I could not contain my emotions. I was, as a fan and just an appreciator of the film, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Everything worked.
I doubt unless the Rise of Skywalker really pulls something out of the bag.
Yeah.
It's I reckon they'll struggle to meet that level. But the thing is, even then, Star Wars is so airy-fairy all over the parts, all over the place. You only get one ever so often. You don't really have that connection, really, and then you have the fact that Star Wars hasn't exactly been going very consistently lately, whereas Marvel is you get 3 out a year, so it's always there, it's always present, and to go on since 2008, it's been you've grown with it.
Star Wars had that thing where it had one film out in the middle of the year and then one at the end. That went on for a little bit. Well, it was mainly Christmas.
Well, it was the thing we had last Jedi and then Solo not long after.
Yeah.
And that's what fans got funny about, or people that have got funny about, because they're reckoning that they should have saved it till Christmas.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's become like a Christmas like sort of tradition, even though it hasn't been going on that long. And then when Solo came out in May,
Yeah.
just sort of.
The actual one, Star Wars was meant to come out.
Yeah.
Have they got another spin-off?
Well, the Mandalorian TV series is coming.
Yeah.
What's that going to be on?
Is that Disney Plus?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus is going to be immense.
Yeah.
How much is it going to cost?
Oh,
$6.99 a month, but that's in dollars.
I just wrote to talk about something and I realised it's a spoiler for Endgame. But I have a feeling that one of the Disney Plus series could very much easily tie into a plot thread in Endgame.
I think
That a lot of people seem to have forgotten happened and have either ignored. I feel something happened in Endgame.
I know what you mean.
Which happened, they focus on it, and people just seem to have forgotten it happened, and it hasn't been corrected. So I feel that might intentionally lead on to
not
something.
corrected on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could very easily make a case that something on Disney Plus will be a direct follow-up to that, and maybe the focus of what, because one of the shows on Disney Plus, I've sort of been like thinking, where are they going to go with that? Because I don't. So yeah, I'm very interested to see where that goes. I'll leave it there because there's no show where you can talk for 4 years.
Yeah.
Just spoilers and spoilers. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Disney Plus because I'm a DVD man. I'm all about physical copies, and I hope to God they release the DVDs for these after they've released them.
Yeah.
Please, Disney. but I'm still excited because it's going to be an easy way to watch new content. In the sense that it seems like big content. Like you've got a Winter Soldier, Falcon series. You've got Wanda and Vision
They're
series.
doing a Falcon and Winter Soldier series.
And a Loki series. And so, and then there's that Lady and the Tramp film. There's some Star Wars stuff. It's crazy.
Are they doing Falcon and Winter Soldier together?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah. Well, I know.
I love those two together. They're so funny.
Well, I don't. And there's a spoiler.
Because Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie have said in the past they wanted to do a spin-off and they wanted to be like a buddy cop sort of thing too. I totally get that.
Yeah.
I totally get where you're going as well. How can it be Winter Soldier and Falcon? It is an interesting.
Yeah.
Given what we know now, there's some differences, some changes, and then that might apply when spoilers become more. Because that's the thing is the media is starting to talk more about things that happen in Endgame now. So it is like we're getting to the point.
To be fair, he's not even been called Winter Soldier for a few films.
Yeah,
that's one thing.
Like,
it's just always Bucky.
He's either Bucky or they were running the
White Wolf.
White Wolf thing.
That's quite cool. That's like he's The Witcher from The Witcher 3.
I think Bucky looks more badass now.
Yeah.
I just really like his Camden gear. Like I like the black and gold armor and the blue.
Yeah.
I might buy a hot toy for that for £300. I'm an absolute slave to merchandise though. Ever since I was young, I get obsessed with like costumes and stuff. So if I see a costume, I really like, I want to get like the best figure of these hot toy things. They're basically like literally £300 figures, which are like 12 inch. They look like the people, like facially, they look like real people. It's kind of
I've
creepy.
seen them, yeah, they're so awesome.
I own a couple. My favourite being my Loki from Thor Ragnarok.
Nice.
But it is like I have to save up, and then it's like a massive expenditure when I get it. But they're so.
With my student loan.
Yeah. Bye bye. Hello.
Should we talk about The Day Shall Come? Which is
the new Chris Morris.
Chris Morris directed and written
Very exciting
film. It premiered in March. Do we know when it's out?
No idea. It's been such a.
It's very typical Morris, isn't it?
Yeah.
The release of this. I think we said on the one that.
Chris,
I think.
Have you seen Four Lions?
Yes.
So it's the guy that made Four Lions.
Amazing.
He's also in IT Crowd. Plays Denham Redmond in the first season. So he.
I think we said last time on the one that's been deleted, most of our conversations, me and James, is the day-to-day and Brass Eye references.
Constantly going back to it. It was just genius comedy. We're always talking about Chris Morris and the things he's done. Like, I'm very optimistic for this new film because I loved Four Lions.
Rub it in your rapids.
Faisal! Over the wall, Faisal! Over the wall!
When he's in the car with the guy.
Drives him into the wall,
It's
Was that real? That bit is so underappreciated.
Yeah, 12 bottles of blue screen.
Yeah, female voice. Oh Why are you covering your face? Because she's got a beard.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And the squat runs as well.
Yeah, the day-to-day is one of my favourite comedy
Oh
shows
yeah.
ever.
I think it is. It's the better Brasso.
Yeah.
Because Brasso is just the day to day, but it's just Chris Martin in Channel 4 with a different name.
Yeah.
I've always felt it is just very much the sequel series. Not even spiritual. It is the sequel series. Just it's just him.
Yeah.
Although you have other people like Mark Heap in it.
Yeah.
And so popping up and you know, the movies in the school in Brasso, like, do you like hash? Do you like hash? Do you like speed?
Yeah.
He'll kind of talk to all the kids.
Drugs need you.
Yeah.
Without you, what are drugs? Drugs.
Drugs. You can get check neck. The day-to-day is effectively a mock news program with just the most melodramatic people on it, but it is still like, it's weird, it is presenting itself as real,
Yeah.
and they basically take real footage and all sorts of stuff and just make mock news stories. It's just sort of a complete satire of the media,
Yeah.
and it's hilarious. It's really worth a watch. It is quite a hidden gem, but it's weird because a lot of people do know about it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is still low key enough that
Yeah.
it isn't ever talked about.
I've seen like odd clips of it online, but I've never like fully watched the series.
Like you've got Peter O'Hanrahan. That's the one I'll keep going
Yeah.
back to because I think that is the best segment in every episode that he pops up in. It's basically an incompetent reporter,
Yeah.
and it's just him fucking up and Chris Morris ripping into it.
Also, Alan Partridge. If you've seen his
Yeah.
football thing, that was day-to-day.
Yeah, people forget that's where Alan Partridge comes
Yeah.
from.
Yeah, that's the first. Was that the first thing he was properly?
Yeah, the radio version of Day to Day, the first version, as far as I'm aware, that was where Alan Partridge came
Yeah.
from. Then after Day to Day, you got a solo TV series.
Yeah.
Do you know, sorry, it's completely off topic.
Go
I was just looking at a group, well, one of my mates was saying in the group chat that the end of Game of Thrones should be Ned Stark waking up at the end and it's just Sean Bean looking at his phone and he's sharp. just looking at his camera like it's sharp.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That's a show that's sort of gone for gone. Sharp. I used to like Sharp. Sharpie Sharp.
Never watched Sharpie
It's
Sharp.
not that bad. I wouldn't say it's aged particularly well, but not from like a story perspective, just filmmaking perspective. It has aged, but I like Sean Bean in general.
It's great.
He dies and everything.
The Day Shall Come apparently has been released,
Yeah.
but I don't know
Is it
how.
released in the UK?
I don't know. I can't find it anywhere. Where
Oh,
it's
has it been released? It's been released at the North and Northwest Festival, so it's on festival release at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's South by Southwest.
Or whatever. It's SXXW.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah.
Close enough.
I saw something that's got me very excited. So they had the first like showing of advanced screenings of Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, stay with me. Detective Pikachu early reactions, heartfelt start for the Pokemon franchise. Basically, apparently it's really great,
Yeah.
and it's totally. If you're a fan of Pokemon, you're gonna love it because there's like millions of Pokemon thrown in, which like.
I really want to see it, and I really hope it spawns more live action Pokemon.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it sounds like it probably will, and it's quite emotional. They're saying it's really funny. Obviously, Ryan Reynolds is gonna be great.
I grew up with the games, the cars, the show, the
Yeah,
films. I love it, and the moment they said they were doing a live action film, I couldn't believe it. I was thinking it's actually happening.
I think just the fact that they actually look so good, Pokemon.
That was one of the things I was worried about. I was thinking,
Yeah.
are they going to look like live action?
Yeah.
And that's the thing is they haven't focused on trying to make them ultra realistic.
No.
It's sort of a mix between what they actually look like in the cartoon and what they would sort of look like.
Because obviously you don't really think that they're furry or anything.
No.
Like, you see them fur in the trailer and be like, oh yeah.
I think
Makes perfect
Pikachu
sense.
is amazing.
Pikachu does it great.
Charizard. Yeah, Charizard. Mr. Mime.
Yeah, everything I've seen of Mr. Mime is
Is
cracking me up.
Danny DeVito? Am I right?
No idea.
I swear I remember someone telling me.
Yeah, he's Jigglypuff.
Literally, the people I know are Justice Smith and Ryan Reynolds. Deadpool Pikachu.
Waiting's really.
It is actually really funny. It's got quite a good.
It's a little indie film, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basically a comedy about people running this like chain restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's got loads of like names and faces you recognise. Ryan Reynolds basically plays like he's not like a high position. He just sort of runs the friendship group and introduces this worker to the group. It is really funny, and especially if you've ever worked in either retail or hospitality or restaurants, you totally get where they come from.
Is there a bit about like the customers coming in like right at the end of the
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, because I totally would hit.
They come in like a minute to 9. Like it's always like
all the kitchen
and
stuff.
the kitchen like they're all cleared up, ready, cleaned down. They're looking at the clock and then they're like, we've got to walk in at 2, and they just start fucking tearing everything up.
No, that was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's sort of gone a bit forgotten. I mean, it wasn't ever really a massive film, but it is fun. It is a really fun film.
Do you ever watch The Voices with him?
Yeah.
I kind of liked it. I also kind of wanted to cry at the end.
It wasn't what I expected. I thought it would be...
Oh, why would you cry?
Oh, crying at things. What an idiot.
There's a fucking trailer. Grow up.
Who cries?
Did you actually cry at it?
No, I was asking if anyone
You
cried.
sound very defensive.
I didn't cry.
Why would you cry? What did you wear a blazer or something?
Easter egg.
That's another one! That's a J-bomb! Follow this up for analysis.
New blog.
Oh dear. Oh dear me.
What that blazer comment meant.
BuzzFeed.
White people react to that blazer comment.
10 things that Blazer comment can be.
Are the Happy Landers dropping a clothing line? We don't know. What's happening? Ooh, a van.
A van has pulled up outside the window. I think we're about to be abducted by the CIA for that blazer comment.
Yeah, they just want to know. They want to know what it's all about. They know we know something, but
Tell us what the blazer means. And the snapback.
Oh. So,
we've come full circle on that one. What else is going on?
Godzilla steps up in the latest King of the Monsters trailer.
That looks so good.
I can't wait.
It looks fun, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's just like...
Did anyone see Kong? Was it Kong? Is that what it was called?
Kong,
yeah. Kong was good, yeah.
Sky Island, yeah.
I genuinely don't know enough. I liked the Godzilla movie with Cranston. It was a bit funny, but I think overall it's just big monsters fighting. And I really liked Sky Island. I thought that was fun.
Sky Island was really good.
I was slightly
Are they going to put the people from Sky Island in this other one? Are they connected?
No, because that was set in like 70s.
I keep forgetting that Brie Larson's in Sky Island.
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston. That's actually quite big leads
Yeah,
for a film.
Samuel Jackson was in it, wasn't he?
Yeah, Samuel Jackson's in everything.
Who else was it? It was John
Spider-Man was in it.
That's
Another Easter egg.
T-bomb.
John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
He was really good in that.
He was funny in it, wasn't he?
Do you reckon Richard Olman's going to mark our podcast?
Maybe.
Mystery Man. Yeah, but
Is that how you pronounce it, do you reckon?
Well, I've just sort of taken a guess with that, but that's now the continuity we've established. So the canon name on this podcast will be The Olmanator. But yeah, no, King of the Monsters looked fun on the trailer. I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's the sort of thing I'm attracted to with like Pacific Rim and whatnot. I just like films where there's big monsters and they can fight. I saw Pacific Rim Uprising over Christmas, and it's not as good as the first one. The first one was really fun.
Yeah.
But it was a sort of film that when you are there in the living room with a family, farting into a chintzy cushion after eating your last fucking God knows how much leftovers you were on at Christmas dinner. It's nice just to have something vaguely recognisable on the screen, and it's just sort of like if you shut up. It's like
it's harmless fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie Day is very weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Doesn't he become the bad guy in the second one?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Spoilers, but it is like, yeah, he's in the first one, and then the second one has made him the villain. It's very odd.
It's weird. It's a weird film.
But when I was there, there on Christmas, I thought, it's passable. It's fun enough to keep my attention.
Yeah.
It's not exactly going to win an Oscar, but
What are you getting all excited about?
I was just looking at Godzilla King of Monsters, and Charles Dance is in it, and he's a British Army colonel and MI6 agent turned fanatic anarchist.
It's got all bases covered.
Let's go quickly.
And he's trying to traffic Titan DNA to level the global playing field.
Oh.
Yeah.
It has a really good cast, that film.
Yeah, it does. There's Carl Chandler, Vera Farmiga,
I find
Millie
it
Bobby
funny
Brown.
that he also turns into an anarchist in the middle of that sentence describing who he plays. CIA, MI6 politician turned anarchist.
Oh, there's what the fuck? One of the characters in this is loosely modelled after Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see some more.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
I don't like how overhyped that show is though.
Oh no, I can. You know,
Oh, yeah.
that's the thing. Is the first thing that I think of whenever I say I like Avengers, Game of Thrones, Rick and Morty. It's always a. Oh, but everyone likes it.
Well,
Well, it's one of those things that with Game of Thrones that I will now never be bothered to get into just because so many people have told me I like it, but I just gonna.
That was my problem with Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think Breaking Bad's a very good show. I've gone back to look at it and I think it was only really good in the bubble that it was out in. If you look at it,
I loved it.
if you look at it from the outside, I think my problem with Breaking Bad is there's too many filler episodes.
There are
like
a lot of
Fly,
episodes, yeah.
where it's just like, you know, they ran out of fucking time on this one. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, make a quick script.
I
Yeah.
never watched the series, but I heard about that episode.
Yeah.
It's quite notorious. I think.
It's shit.
There's,
And that's the problem, sort of like, and, well, there wasn't a lot of pressure. It was like, you know, everyone was like, you must watch this.
But yeah, that's the thing with like hype, really, isn't it? Like Friday Night Dinner, the last season, last series of it, I did like, but I didn't like how big it was getting by the end,
yeah.
and I'm slightly concerned about where it's going to go on.
We are on the brink of it becoming sort of lowest common denominator catchphrase comedy.
I think
Um,
the problem with Rick and Morty was everyone was like, oh yeah, it's like a smart person's comedy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Everything. And then I walked into McDonald's, I remember after work once, and there was a
oh,
4-year-old jumping on the sofas or whatever going, Pickle Rick! I was like, okay, yeah, smart person's comedy.
I think it's really overrated, Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
I really like it, it's fun.
It's
but
made me laugh, but it's no better than.
it's not better than Futurama.
See, for
No,
me,
no,
it
definitely.
doesn't actually make me laugh a great deal. It does. But I think most of the driving point for me is, if there's one thing it does, is the makers clearly understand pop culture. And most episodes, something in it makes me very nostalgic.
Yeah.
They always have some sort of nostalgic callback. That's the main reason I watch it. I really enjoy that. But the whole Szechuan sauce thing, what an obscure reference to like make a massive movement out of a sauce that was made for McDonald's to promote Mulan.
Yeah.
You know, and he was like, "What? The sauce was just for a movie?" Jesus. You know, things like that. And I like things that look back and I'm always rose Tennessee Platts when it's looking at the Platts, you know. But yeah, no, I enjoy the humour. I think it was fun. I think most people, you talk about like 4-year-olds screaming Pickle Rick, are the people that misunderstand the show.
Yeah.
And they sort of misinterpreted the jokes, because a lot of it at times, if you find there's some jokes in it, if you get it, you're clever. There's some jokes you get and you think they're funny, it means you're the person they're taking the piss out of. They put things in there that to intentionally sort of like throw off people.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, at the end of the day, I enjoy it. I wouldn't say it's
fun.
the best show, I wouldn't say it deserves the hype it gets.
It's good though.
Yeah, I think it's a good show. But things are always overhyped nowadays. That's just millennials though. I'm not jumping on the whole Good Morning Britain.
Oh,
Millennials are ruining society, but it is the whole millennial thing. Is everything is either constant satisfaction, always needing something. That's why like Netflix is so popular. It's need something, or it's overhyping things. Like how many times do you go on Twitter and it's this is everything. This is everything.
But then, is that only millennials? Like, generations above us overhype things, but that was just within their time of liking it.
Rations. They overhype them.
The war.
I feel
I'm
like
sure rations are shit.
they look over everything, but they I feel like the stakes for existence have done nothing but deplete. Things have gone down in every sector, in particular quality. Quality has gone down considerably. You know, you look at things today that are considered high culture were at one point just culture. At one point were just the norm. you know, I was talking to someone, a customer we have at work. Well, I won't say his name, Carl, and he, I don't know how old he is. But he would have been at school many generations ago, and he was talking about a friend that he met recently, I hadn't seen him in years, and he said about how when he was at school they would be debating the values or the quality of Vivaldi versus Wagner, and it's like, where was that when I was in school? Because then, classical music was just, you would listen to classical music. When I was in school, you'd get mocked for listening to it. Like, why are you listening to that fancy shit?
Yeah.
You know, and so I think it is like, people in, say, past generations have right to overhype things because things were actually quality. Things were actually of a good quality. Nowadays, so much is just trash, garbage thrown up, and it's whatever they can quickly produce. And the thing is people can easily produce things now. Back then, they would be like Star Wars: A New Hope is a quality film because there's so much time and effort went into it. Whereas the amount of effort that would go into Last Jedi in comparison was so minimal in comparison because it's so much easier to make a film like that.
But then on your point about music, like there would have been popular music. Like him and his mate talking about classical music wouldn't have been the norm then, unless he's like 100. Like in the 50s, there was popular music that was like mainstream and everyone listened to. Like there was like Elvis and stuff. That was popular.
You go back then. You even look at the 40s and stuff. Big band is nothing more than just a further variation of classical music, and focus was never truly on. In those times, back then, focus was less on the songs. It was less on the performance. But it was always about the effort and the quality. It was always about, you know, people look at Elvis, they look at how he's an innovator, they look at things he brought to the game. Is there anyone you can say nowadays that does that has such a game-changing impact? I mean, when I was in school, I always used to say, I always get sad watching golden era Hollywood films because I know we can never revisit that era. It was such a groundbreaking era, but it was sort of, so the ground is broken. It can't be broken even further. There's these things. There's like a genesis of ideas.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was this point where so much happened in such a short amount of time, and now it's just sort of like constantly just everything's a mimic of stuff from the past. And yeah, it's sort of like this is the ultimate waffle of going around. There is a point somewhere, but that's the general point. Is I feel like there was a time where general quality and things of high culture were more norm.
But then, well, to be fair, I'm trying to argue a point as someone who doesn't listen to the charts now about music. So. But I don't necessarily think it's because I don't think our time for music is necessarily any worse. I just think
there's still. I still think there's a select few artists which you can say are like as close to groundbreaking as at least in recently, like even like pop star like Beyonce, like you can't argue like her like sort of social and like impact on like music and
Sort
stuff.
of. I just feel like Beyonce isn't Frank Sinatra though. Yeah, Frank Sinatra, as just down off the top of my head, is timeless. And I sincerely think when history becomes the judge of things, say generations down the line, I don't think Beyonce will have the same impact. I don't think most of the artists we have, most contemporary artists, I don't think there's anyone I could name who will have that timeless, will be talked about. In the Christmas annals, that's it. Everybody comes
Be like a legend.
Here
of the bootleg.
That's what. That's
Yeah.
what. I feel like there's no. Even I love Endgame, but when the superhero genre goes out of vogue again, it will. There will be a time where there's only one out of here, so people aren't interested.
Well, it's the Western of our time.
Yeah, everything goes in circles. You know, will superhero films be looked at like the Western? Will we look at those? Because
I'm sure they will. I'm sure there will be a time when.
Because again, that's the other thing. Cinema's changed.
Yeah.
Back in the day, cinema was the prime form of entertainment.
It's just going to be shitty YouTube stars making movies, and that's the future.
Oh yes, not in America.
Again in America.
Yeah, that's the thing. YouTube worries me at times when I see that. I think is that the next stage?
What are you doing? Rory's just moving around like an idiot for the last 5 minutes and taking us off.
Even if we become them, another Happy Landing podcast does not support influencers.
No.
People that turn up to hotels trying to pressure them into free tickets because, oh look, I'll give you good press.
I don't think we'd influence anyone. Like,
Yeah. Maybe a few like neo-Nazis, the odd one.
If you call yourself an influencer, we probably don't like you, is the general rule.
I quite like Stephen tries to make a movie. That'd be funny,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Why?
Because everyone listening is just going to hear you moving your chair for 10 minutes.
I think that's the best way I can relate to
Do you not care?
No.
Obviously not. But I think if you tie it into like influences, that is the culture now. And I think I was going to sort of like ground my argument, sort of say why I think like the main thing that makes me think it is our culture at the moment. I feel like we have a culture that's so chop and change, next thing, that nothing ever gets remembered. I mean, we were just talking about Kong Skull Island. And when we were talking about it, it was like loads of bits came back to me. But I was like, geez, that was a big film. If Kong Skull Island came out in the 70s, we'd still be talking about it.
Yeah.
But it came out in 2016, and it was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. That's just part of a bigger sphere of the Godzilla movies, because it's a crossover. And that's what it is.
Well, we didn't have the one that got deleted. I don't want to keep going back to that one. We spoke about how I was just getting back into the Warriors, and I don't know if we'd have the Warriors thing now that like comes out and slowly builds up.
Yeah.
Interest and slowly builds up people talking about it and then gets remembered. Like everything now comes out. It was what was that thing with the blind woman with the
Bird Box.
takeover?
Yeah, Bird
That
Box.
came out, was mad for a week, and then no one talks about it.
Exactly.
Like how much did they realise? That's the thing with the charts as well that I don't like. A song comes out, it's like absolutely huge for a month, and then like it's like it just goes, doesn't it? And no one could have liked it that much because they're not listening to it now.
Films and songs at the moment and now, and hopefully this will be a trend that changes,
Yeah.
are effectively just memes.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
Yeah.
They have their moment in the sun, and
Meme
then
potential.
yeah. that's it. There's the odd person that'll hang on, people that come back and buy DVDs and stuff and still talk about it, be fans, but that's it, that's as far as it goes. And I think that's it. And I think the cultural change means that we're in this state of, when I was saying about things never becoming timeless, I think it's impossible to create anything like that because of this culture. We constantly keep making different things and so on and then forgetting about them, whilst at the same time being nostalgic for a specific era where all the groundbreaking things were. So those will always be revered because we're always going to be nostalgic. And what we currently make is never going to get remembered.
It's just not original anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think the last thing that did manage to hold like interest for a while was GTA 5. Like, I reckon for a few months that was like what people were talking about most.
Yeah.
I still play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. A few people do. Yeah.
And I found, I mean, I loved Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, I loved it.
I found that GTA 5 was way more playable.
Yeah.
Because the multiplayer is actually.
Well, it's also the thing that now I've finished Red Dead Redemption 2, I think the only way I could get enjoyment out of it would be playing it again.
Yeah, going through the story.
Yeah.
So much happened and it was so much went on within the story. And it was so long that now it's at the end. I can't really carry on playing the story, like the campaign, without starting everything again.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like the only thing really going. I haven't really played much Red Dead Online, but then again, if you saw the online where I come from, it would make you cry. I've just found that it was all in the story, and once that was gone, when that was done, I just felt depressed going to the same location, going back to roads. And
That's it. I went back on a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, I'll give it another bit. I'll do all the side missions now. And I was just like, where should I go? Oh, let's look at roads. And I was like, that part of the story is one of my favourite bits in roads.
Yeah,
I was like,
that was fun. I think Saint Denis was my favourite. I went to Saint Denis really early in the game. Until I found out about it, I went straight there.
Yeah, I did that as well. I was just riding around the map because I was like, fuck it.
It's a big fucking town. Well, this
I was like, what the fuck? This is huge.
So I'd go there and have fun. I just feel that was like really fun. I liked all the stuff you could do. Like I liked the fact that you could get hair tonic and grow your hair like ridiculously long. Well, that was like that was something that's missing from GTA. Because GTA there's like a very limited amount you can do.
yeah. Well, Red Dead Redemption 1 is probably one of my favourite games ever, and like I think it stands out from all the other like Rockstar stuff. So when the second one was coming out, I knew it was going to get GTA level hype, and then people were going to be disappointed by it because most people that I'd say overall the mainstream that play GTA play it to run someone over and go around shooting some police.
Yeah.
I always do that just to cool it off. Like, you know, I'll do it during exam seasons when I'm procrastinating. One of the things I usually go to is GTA just so I can go just cause some rampage. I was like, I'll go to Gun Ammunition, buy a fuck ton of weapons, and then just get on a bike and just go murdering people.
That's why I just bought the new Mortal Kombat. Like,
oh, well,
that's good. That's good.
I do want to get that.
Relieve some stress.
It's got Ronda Rousey in it.
Oh wow. She's Sonya Blade.
Follow up from my last point. First ever women's main event at WrestleMania. That happened. That came and went. Yeah, like a wet fart. It was. No, it wasn't awful. I mean, I'm going to be the only person talking on this bit, but yeah, it just had a botched finish, and now apparently Ronda Rousey's done with WWE.
Oh wow.
Apparently.
Is she?
Yeah, apparently. So.
What's she going to do now? Because she.
Back to UFC.
Me and Rory can jump in on the Ronda Rousey UFC moments and then chuck it back to you with WrestleMania.
From what I understand is, so she debuted with WWE last January, the Royal Rumble. She made an appearance. She turned up at the end of the Royal Rumble match, pointed at the WrestleMania logo and left. So from what I understand and what she said in interviews, is she signed on to be there till November to just do matches here and there, you know, be a wrestler, be there, because she's always been a massive wrestling fan and wants to be there. Things got really popular, so they put the women's title on her, and they said, okay, you know, you've got enough of a profile, we'll put you in the women's main event. You know, the idea being is Ronda Rousey being there has justified them to do a women's main event because they have the star power now by having Ronda, because she's like a big mainstream crossover star, and that's the sort of thing WWE always wants. So they extended it to Mania. So basically what she said is she wants to start a family, and that's what she wanted to do before she went to WWE. This was more like a hobby, but it was always presented like she was now a constant fixture. She was going to be about for quite a while. So now it's looking like WrestleMania 35 that was it. She's done now, done with wrestling completely. And I doubt she'll even go back to UFC now, to be honest, because if she's starting, she's got kids.
Yeah. Well, my thing with her is she did that really, personal interview with Ellen, didn't she, where she started crying about her loss to, was it Holly Holm?
Yeah.
Or was it after the Nunes fight? And I just think if she had better coaching, she could come back. But if she was going to come back and do everything the same, then the results are going to be the same. But I think I don't have the confidence in her coaches that she was at the level she needed to be. She shouldn't have gone back from the loss to Holly Holm, which was huge, straight into a fight with Amanda Nunes.
She was unbeaten before that, wasn't she?
Yeah.
I literally know hardly anything about women's UFC, to be fair, but I don't think she beat Nunes, would she? I mean, she only lost to her once.
I think the Holly Holm rematch would be the sensible way, because Nunes is fighting Holm for the, I think it's UFC 237 in Brazil.
It's in Brazil, I think, yeah.
And Anderson Silva and Jose Aldo are fighting as well. But
that'd be good.
it's finished. They're not fighting each other.
Oh. I mean, that wouldn't make sense.
No, I think the only way she could come back is if she got better coaching, just focused on the game plan of getting into a clinch and taking people down, rather than thinking that she can outbox a literal professional boxer in Holly Holm.
Sorry to interrupt. I don't get why Anderson Silva is still getting fights. I know
most title defences.
I know he's a legend, but he's lost a lot recently. Like, he beat Derek Brunson and that's it. Other than that, it's been...
But then you look at the people he's lost to. He's lost to Israel Adesanya.
I just don't think he's going to make a comeback now, is he?
Oh no, I think this last fight's his last.
Oh, okay.
I think is it Canonia he's fighting?
Yeah.
He's going to fight him, and I think that's going to be his farewell in Brazil kind of thing.
44, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at...
You talk about tying things back between WWE and UFC as well. Interesting crossover point. CM Punk's return to wrestling after his glorious reign in UFC.
When in his fight in the UFC, the second one, the guy was tickling him. Actually started tickling him in the octagon to piss him off, because he was so shit. Literally, he was terrible.
But isn't that the guy that went 3 rounds with him and couldn't finish him?
Yeah.
So the joke's on him, really.
Yeah, really. And afterwards, Dana White was like, he's never fighting in the UFC again after that.
And so basically, there was a wrestling event recently, an independent one, like a tiny venue. Someone jumped into the ring wearing a mask and a hoodie.
I saw that,
and dropped a GTS, which is CM Punk's finisher. And it later came out that was actually CM Punk in disguise. So it looks like he's now slowly moving his way back over to what he's actually good at. The thing is, it was always strange. I mean, at the end of the day, I agreed with Conor McGregor. I commended him for trying it. He said that most people could just talk all the talk, but he actually went in there and got his ass kicked. But to be in UFC for your MMA debut,
Well, here's the thing, like
that's the thing.
when Dana White recently was like, if I ever let Logan Paul in the octagon, take the UFC off me, or something
Yeah,
like
You
that.
let
Like,
CM Punk.
you let CM Punk in, and like Logan Paul was like a state junior wrestling champion, or he did something wrestling wise. He has some experience.
Yeah, I really feel like there's no validity to that comment when
No.
you let something like CM Punk happen, because at the end of the day, CM Punk, if he really he wanted to be a mixed martial artist after retiring in quotation marks from wrestling, as it seems now. So he went straight to the premium brand, which is meant to be for elite athletes who are the best of the best.
Well,
of
Brock
the best.
Lesnar didn't even do that. Brock Lesnar was like 3-0, was he, when he entered the UFC? He did a few mixed martial arts.
Yeah, he got some like wins under his belt.
He
Yeah.
won the championship, didn't he?
He lost to Frank Mir, then didn't he win the interim heavyweight
Yeah.
championship to Shane Carwin? No, he beat
No, it was
Chuck Liddell,
yeah,
and then
he
he
was really good.
didn't he beat Shane Carwin or something like that? And then
Yeah.
lost to Velasquez, then lost to
But it
Overeem,
really,
my favourite
ended
my
with
favourite
Overeem.
fighter.
I hated when he lost to Overeem.
He didn't
But at the
fight.
same time, him losing to Avery led to his retirement, led to come back to WWE. So
Yeah.
He didn't fight Chuck Liddell.
Do you not? Who did he
No.
fight?
He fought Min Soo Kim first, Frank Mir, Heath Hearing, Randy Couture,
Randy Couture, that's what I
Yeah.
think of, yeah.
Frank Mir again, Shane Carwin, then he lost to Kane and Overeem, and then Drew. Well, not Drew. It was no contest.
yeah, with
Yeah.
Mark Hunt because of the
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
UFC, that was recently, wasn't it? UFC 200.
yeah.
yeah.
That was meant to be a big deal about getting him back. And he was under WWE contract when he did that. The idea was his new contract was going to allow him to go to UFC occasionally to do the odd fight. But after the whole controversy with his fight with Mark Hunt, it all sort of fell apart. So
Yeah.
he's only been in WWE recently. I don't know what he's doing now. He's
They-
gone from wrestling.
They wanted him to come back to
And
fight
fight
John
DC.
Jones.
They wanted to fight DC
John Jones,
in
wasn't
DC's
it?
retirement fight, but I don't see the
I
point.
think
personally.
just leave Jones Cormier free, really.
Don't really know what's going on with Lesnar. He did an interview recently at like a celebrity dinner. It's very rare for him to do interviews, so it wasn't kind of a big deal. He basically said that he only signs short-term contracts with either WWE or UFC because he likes to keep his options open.
Yeah.
So he could always return to the UFC at any point, same as he could go to WWE. He just likes getting the best paycheck he can. And yeah, said recently about Cormier that the last thing I read, rumour, dirt sheet stuff for wrestling is that they are looking to try and get him in to be a commentator.
Yeah,
apparently
DC might be going to WWE to commentate as well.
Really?
yeah, for SmackDown, because basically SmackDown's got this deal with Fox Sports. It's going to Fox Sports in the US. It's like a multi-billion-dollar deal to go there later this year, and they want to get. The idea is, from what I've heard, is Fox want it to be more. It's still wrestling, but have a more legit sport feel to it.
Yeah.
So they want to bring in actual sport personalities to be part of the programming. So they really want Cormier to be a commentator, so you can have that sort of connection. Also, Cormier, like Rousey, has the crossover appeal. He's a big star, and
A wrestler.
he's a massive wrestling fan. He loves WWE, so he wants to go there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's the thing with people talking about McGregor entering the WWE. I don't know how they could really frame that because he isn't really a wrestler. So
Well, that's the thing though. Ronda Rousey wasn't a wrestler. She had to train to like learn how to learn the wrestling.
but then it was more judo. It was like judo throws and arm bars. It's closer to wrestling than McGregor's.
So also with Rousey, they a lot of it was smoke and mirrors. They would have her matches be very short, and she'd just do a few moves, which she'd obviously only recently used. So the idea was she was put over as a very strong opponent, and by keeping her matches short, they didn't show her sort of frailties and how she wasn't seasoned, she wasn't properly trained. Yeah.
So as someone who doesn't watch WWE, is it literally all scripted out, or?
Completely, yeah. I mean, there are limits. There's a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to act like I work in the wrestling business.
yeah.
It's just as a fan for years, you do learn a lot about what goes on. But effectively, the matches are entirely choreographed.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean nothing can ever go wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, wrestlers tend to retire earlier than a lot of athletes because the problem is, I mean, and some go longer. Like got Triple H, he's still going. He's in like mid-40s. Undertaker's still going. He's past 50. So you can get some that go. But the thing is like it's the wear and tear because one of the first things they teach you to do at wrestling school is take a bump on the mat, which is where you just walk into the middle of the ring and you fall on your back. It's one of the most painful things you can do, and it's something you've got to do countless times in just ordinary matches, let alone when you introduce weapons and stuff. And weapons, when they do that, yeah, there's ways they get around it. They hit the back rather than the face, but they still hit you with it in full force to make the sound. When they get a kendo stick, it's like 4 bamboo shoots put together, and you whack someone around the back with it. You're still getting whacked, and they do it so you get the effect of like welts and marks. So they are still doing things. I mean, if you ever want to look at like examples of where it gets, the lines get very blurred. You look at anything sort of Japan death matches and things where the opponent doesn't die, but they're called death matches because they're a form of hardcore match, and a hardcore match is where you introduce very extreme weapons. So you get baseball bats with barbed wire in the front, and you just get smashed around the face with it. Because if you do that, your face will start bleeding quickly. They put thumbtacks on the floor, drawing pins, and just drop you on them, so that when you get up, you've got them all stuck in your back. Because it's entertainment, some people look at it as redneck entertainment, but I'm a massive fan. And it's one of those things, and I think it's matches like that make you appreciate how far they go to entertain the fans. The toll they put on their bodies is ridiculous. But yeah, when it comes to matches, it's pretty much entirely choreographed. I know some wrestlers are different to others. Some will go through a match step by step with you before you do it. Others, like if you're more seasoned, they'll just expect you to be able to improvise most of the time. But all the moves are fake, but they're still very painful, is the idea. When it comes to promos and stuff, it's a mix. Sometimes they're scripted entirely to the point that you have to say what they told you to say. Sometimes they'll give you more freedom to just push your character and try to do something. But and some people, you grow up, you always get the whole, why do you watch it? It's fake. Come on, why do you watch films?
Exactly.
Well, it's like, people who watch it know it's fake. The only people who don't know it's fake are kids. They watch it because they just appreciate it.
I think the problem is people think, like, I don't watch WWE, but it seems like other people that don't watch it and moan about it think that it's selling itself as a sport.
No.
I don't think it's ever done that, really.
It's entertainment, that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's like any other form of entertainment. And that's the thing, if they don't even call themselves a wrestling company, they call themselves a sports entertainment company.
Yeah.
So
well, if in a football match a team all fell over and everyone ran through it, then it's then you're being robbed from.
Or there's fixed fights in boxing, so that's when you start picking it apart. But when I've always been a big wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Talking about that, there's that event coming up, isn't there, for university, the event project. I'm really mad I'm not free for it. I can't get work off.
Yeah, I'm working, I couldn't do it.
It's because they're doing it on Beyond the Mat, which is a wrestling documentary from the late 90s, which I've seen countless times. I'm a big fan of it. I'm really upset I'm going to miss it because I do really like that film. Also makes me mad for next year's event because I would have loved to have done it on a wrestling-based film, and now if I do that, it's going to be like, well, that's just what they did last year.
Yeah. When is it? Isn't it May the 4th?
It's a Saturday in May. I think it is this coming Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to be busy.
That's the thing, is that I can't get work off on Saturday.
Same.
Yeah.
So
this means nothing to anyone other than us, really.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing that's happening.
Yeah, I thought I'd just sort of try
Should we try and
university.
publicise it? They haven't got it. If
If
anyone's
just
got
actually
Yeah,
volunteer and help out.
go to, is it Park campus? And
Shall I should go? No, I can't get it on my laptop. I've got
probably Park. We'll just
I did have it on my
Let's assume
phone.
Park Campus.
Park campus
Sometime
in Cheltenham,
weekend.
University of Gloucestershire.
Wait. I'll get the official details so we can really promote the shit out of it. Oh dear. Uni. You can see I've already googled it before. So yeah, Beyond the Mat 20-year anniversary screening. It will be Park Campus, University of Gloucestershire, on Saturday. It's 1 till 4:30. 4th of May. So yeah, this Saturday. So you can get around to it. It's really good. It's doing they're raising money for Mind Charity, which is they do amazing work, and they deserve everything that's coming to them. So it would be really great if people get down, support the cause, and it should be really fun. I've heard they've got a wrestling auction going on.
They've also got a special guest wrestler, apparently.
Yeah, I've heard
If
something
that's
about
happening.
that, I guess. I don't want to mispublicise that. We were told maybe guess, and there might be, there might not be. I think they have got like a spokesperson.
They've got Triple H apparently.
I'm going. Fuck work. So if you're a big wrestling fan, it might be worth. But if not, just for the sake of a bit of a social occasion, just go down, check it out, see what's going on.
Probably if you're local. I wouldn't. Well,
Yeah,
I'm not
don't
saying
go-
I wouldn't travel for it.
If you
Obviously.
live in London, as long as they
Only
don't go.
Olympics.
I'm not saying if you're listening in Thailand, hop over to Cheltenham.
It's not it's a legitimate event, but it's being done for someone's event project for their third year. So it's
which
gonna
we'll
really,
do next year. So
it's going to really help them out as well if people are turning out, and also if anyone can volunteer any hands or any help. Really, if anyone out there can. If anyone can do anything practical to help them out, try contacting them. I haven't got any contact details here, but I'm sure if you just go for Beyond the Map 20th anniversary celebration, University of Gloucestershire on Google, you'll find all the contact details you need.
yeah,
And back to it.
yeah, we're coming up to an hour and a half. Do we want to give out our Happy Landings Hall of Fame?
Oh yes.
Just Pete, you had to listen to us talk about UFC and wrestling, so I'd like.
You
Do you want to? So I put you on the.
What do you want to enter the Hall of Fame? It can be bad or good. It's something you think deserves recognition and needs to go into the Hall of Fame.
I would like to put Kevin Feige in the Hall of Fame.
Fuck yeah!
Kevin Feige purely for creating the MCU.
So it's a good thing this week, though.
It's a good
Yeah,
thing.
Feige-
Last week was Tekken, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then it was your car on the one that got to.
In the mystery, in the hidden episode, it was my car for burning down. We'll revisit that story in a later episode, and you'll understand the context of that. But yeah, this week, this is the continuity. This is the canon episode 2, the canon introduction to the Hall of Fame. It's good because the last one was negative to how positive.
Yeah, I'd
Kevin
rather
Feige.
end on a positive. So yeah, Kevin Feige, creator of, well, not creator of MCU, but like he's the main producer.
Yeah, he was involved with Marvel for years. I mean, if you look at like X-Men 2,
Yeah,
he was producer for
Fox.
those.
So was it his plan to do all this, or was it a joint
The
plan?
continuity says yes. You
Let's
don't
just
know.
say yes.
Because you can make an argument that they have improvised as well as planned. I think Avengers was always a plan.
Yeah.
Well, they always say when they did Iron Man, the end of Iron Man, that was like we'll just throw it in.
Yeah, it's
there,
like, oh,
just
chuck
throw
it in. Like,
They were-
I'm sure it was improvised to a degree.
But
Yeah.
then after the way Iron Man was responded along with Incredible Hulk, that I think then it was planned to at least get to Avengers.
Yeah.
And then when they put Thanos at the end of Avengers, again, I think that had sort of the same feel of the Nick Fury one, like, oh, you know, Thanos. And then it became serious. I mean, I think it all became very serious when Disney bought Marvel.
Yeah.
That's because they were going to make it into a product. But yeah, it was in 2007 when Paramount got the rights to Iron Man. That's when Feige was brought in.
Yeah.
And Feige said that to make a joint universe, because it was something that Hollywood wasn't doing
Yeah.
and hadn't really done. So yeah, and it was
He's just creative genius. He's
well, yeah. If you look at the way it's gone, it's crazy. Why was I so impressed by
I
it?
don't know.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's amazing.
How long
It's
do you-
so crazy.
As fans of it, how long do you want/think it will continue?
I feel the thing is that they just keep getting like the quality's still so high and like they're making crazy money with their films and like, even though I don't like I'm not going into spoilers, Endgame's a conclusion to a certain story and like so you can see like certain characters' stories as a conclusion to them, but I feel going forward they've still got enough because they've just introduced Captain Marvel, Panther, like Peter Parker, Spider-Man, like all these characters, and like I feel like they've got 7 films in them, and they can just keep going. Like there's enough content in the comics and stories they want
Yeah,
to
they've
have
only
after
just got
that.
Fox as well. So
Well, that's the
Yeah.
perfect thing with comic book adaptations, isn't it? Like, you're never going to run out of
Yeah, they've got like
things.
80 years worth
Yeah.
of content to just keep going.
I feel like it's still got quite a bit of longevity to it. I feel like I don't think it's inappropriate when people do start talking about the fact that it is going to go down because it is an inevitability. Every genre does. I'll say sort of an extension to that though is I do feel I've got a feeling that the gross for Endgame won't be topped. I think we are at the peak. I think because this is the conclusion of the story of Infinity Saga, fair enough, we've got Far From Home, which is still in the phases and so on. I want them to succeed because I am a fan. I'm always going to be a fan of superheroes, comics, and the films, and games, anything you put out. But I can't help but feel like Endgame is like a real finale and a peak, and I think it's going to be a struggle to get a major mainstream audience to continue fully. Because if you were going to do the end game again for the second part, this next part after the Infinity So then that would justify another 22 films to build up to another
Yeah.
big ending, and I don't know whether it would last that long. I don't know whether people would continue that far. I hope it would, but
Well,
I feel like at that point the longevity, the fatigue would kick in then.
I think as long as they predict when that fatigue is going to come in and when people are eventually going to die off of it, then they'll
At
be
the end
fine.
of the day, Disney have a lot of other properties, so
Yeah.
even if that starts to falter, they have plenty of other things they can focus on.
I think what might keep it going is the fact that they're not just like superhero films anymore. Like they're filming obviously, but they're like different genres. Are like totally different. Like,
Well, that's the thing. That's where
films.
it's not like Star Wars, where Star Wars is Star Wars.
Yeah.
There's a lot more room to breathe and a very different, diverse character.
Yeah.
I think there's one of the only issues they might encounter when it comes to looking at the entire Infinity Saga retrospectively is some of them. I'm not going to say they're dated because they're not dated yet, but I think they will become dated. I feel there will be a time where we'll be looking back at that's a reference. Like I think I mentioned before, Shuri in Black Panther.
Yeah.
Lots of those. I was thinking like that's going to be forgotten.
Yeah, that one.
And that's just one example, and I think
Yeah.
there'll probably be countless bits. I feel like the scale of them will always be appreciated. They are. Endgame is a truly epic film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be. I feel like in that sense it'll be remembered the same as Return of the King, as an epic
Do you
conclusion.
think it's the best one?
Out of all the MCU.
Because I got asked that and I said maybe, but let me watch it again first.
Certainly in top 10 right now.
So,
It's in my top 10 regardless. I think like
Sorry.
well, paying attention anyway.
This is why we didn't invite you to the last one.
Well,
Piece of
actually,
shit.
you were asking about what was my favourite Marvel movie, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well
Yeah.
Audio,
Well,
middle
all
finger.
no,
do
22
you
of
was,
them.
do you think Endgame was best? Or was your favourite?
No, my favourite's Winter Soldier. Yeah.
I think my favourite is still Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's up there for me.
And the thing is, the more contemporary ones have really become my favourites. Like I think Ragnarok and Homecoming.
Yeah, Homecoming's definitely up there for me.
From the ones I've seen, probably Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
on its own. I could probably I watched that one because I thought I could consider that one on its own fine to
Yeah.
watch. So I watched that one.
Guardians will return to my grading system when I've ended my hiatus with them. As I said before,
Yeah.
I'm in a state of just recovering because I went too hard on them. It's the only one I'll say. I became too involved with the Guardians films, both 1 and 2, and I can't listen to the soundtracks and so on. It's
No.
too much for me. I feel like it's
When I listen to David Bowie albums, Moon Age Daydream still gets skipped because of
yeah, it's
Guardians of
like
the Galaxy.
Guardians soundtrack, yeah. And I said I hope I'm feeling that part.
Yeah.
It's ruined Reservoir Dogs for me.
Yeah.
But it won't. It's not permanent. I'm only recovering, and I know, I like the film. I said before, I liked the films at one point. I'll like them again. It's just I need a break.
Yeah.
I'd say Ragnarok and Homecoming I really like. Iron Man 2 really grew on me. When we talked about it recently,
Yeah.
I said I was going to go back and watch it.
Like, I don't get why it gets the hate it does. Like,
Yeah, I was just like, 'cause
I really enjoy it.
I really didn't like it, and then I went back to it and I was like, this is really good.
Justin Hammer. Like,
Yeah, Justin Hammer.
it's just brilliant.
I don't mind Whiplash, the whole I want my book,
Yeah.
where's my book, this is not my book.
I got really into Iron Man 3 when it came out. I went to see it twice. I think.
Fucking hate it.
It's not,
Really?
I wasn't a big fan of that.
I thought it was alright. I didn't mind it.
Wrong!
It's so fun.
It's just fun. I just
It's
found it
not
funny.
an
to be
Iron
honest.
Man film, it's fucking James Bond with. I don't know, it's just. see how angry it makes me!
Hulk smash.
That was his chair.
Now he's playing around with the chairs.
Little
Yeah.
Endgame reference there. Well, I think it's good to.
They're not making spoilers. This isn't spoilers.
I mean, I actually want to
Don't beat us up like they do.
It's a quote that out of context means nothing. Well, now you know how I feel when I get Ben Mendelsohn, don't you?
Nice.
My convert over here.
They've been the
That's it. Now, that's the thing is now I've mentioned it. You're all gonna eventually notice.
I didn't notice.
James wins. No. At the end of the day, the thing is, I'm happy. It's the same as again when I was talking about films being successful. As long as people like them, it's good. It's not money wasted. It's when you get a film that spends fuck tons and it's shit, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, we could have done with that money. Make a good film and do something worthwhile. Jesus.
I think there's also a group of like people, well, not criticising them for this, but enjoy watching like things that people like. As soon as something gets hated, they're like, oh, I reckon I'm gonna like this, and like aim at that angle of liking it. And that's just. It's interesting that people do that, isn't it? I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing. It's just a lot of people seem to do that.
Yeah, I'm constantly liking films that no one likes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, I don't know whether it's because of that. You know, you start really, because when you have that and you're looking at it from an angle, you start really looking for good things.
Yeah.
And you then amplify those to make an argument.
I mean, everyone has their like blind fandoms, don't they? Like with my Ricky Gervais one, any film that comes out, if it does like, he's never had like a huge flop really, but when Adventure Lying comes out and Special Correspondence and stuff like that, and everyone says it's terrible, and I genuinely can't see what they see wrong with it.
Well, that's in the last episode. I'm a massive fan of Timothy Olyphant. That's why I like the first Hitman movie. He's also in like The Girl Next Door. It's like a comedy that came out like early 2000s. He's in Scream 2, and I think Scream 2 is contending for one of my all-time favourite films. I think it is one of the most perfect sequels, and usually, interesting chat here, I find that the second film is usually the best in the sequels. It is the series. Whenever it comes to a series, typically I always find.
Should we go through and just? I'll try.
I always find the second film the best. Okay.
Rambo.
I prefer part 2.
What was that?
Nope. So I'm just doing a head count.
Cheeky little.
Okay, right. Sorry about that.
Fire!
Are we alright to be in it? Anyway, yeah.
So what was that? Yeah, I think that I really like First Blood.
Yeah.
I think it's I don't think it's an action film. It is action, but I think it's actually a film of good artistic merit.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's sort of an 80s film thing, 80s franchise thing, where the first one was really good and critically is really good and is like a nice and wholesome as a film.
Rambo is so strange.
And then they just decided, we can make pictures of Stallone without a top on, and then everyone will go and see it and make loads of money if we just do an action film.
People who like good literature look at First Blood the way smart movie goers look at First Blood Part 2.
Yeah.
It's such a strange relationship. It's sort of like you've got people who think First Blood the film is highbrow and they'll look down on the Rambo sequels. But then there's people that like the book that look at the film, the first one, as like, no, not that.
Yeah.
You know, it's so strange. To be honest, I don't mind the novel, and I really like the film, and I always make the case, I don't think it derives enough to be different. People get really mad about the film because they change things, and I think, to be honest, they just made it a little more positive, a little more digestible. At the end of the day, I don't think the casting of Stallone's poor to play the Rambo from the novel, because he's not big, he's not muscly in the first but it's not till the sequels he gets jacked. In the first one, he's covered up most of the film. And sure, there's a big focus on survival skills, but that was in the novel. They make Sam Troutman into a good guy or a supportive character, but you know, at the end of the day, the message of the book is still in the film. You see Stallone crumble and cry at the end of the first film. You know, he is shown to be a very vulnerable man who's been affected. I don't think the message is lost. I don't feel like he has to be killed by his former superior ruthlessly to get that across.
Next then, Die Hard. Would you agree? We're carrying on the thing about you thinking the second one is the best.
Not always.
I like Die Hard too.
Most times.
Die Hard 2.
I say not always. Most times I believe the second film. Just to clarify, I do love Die Hard 2.
I like every Die Hard.
It is the first film repeated in an airport, but I do love it.
I love the first three.
I think the third I actually enjoyed the most.
I think the third is one of the strongest.
Yeah.
They make some change. And I like the fourth one. It's not at the level of the
fourth
first
is
three,
really
but the
good,
fourth one really does
yeah.
get. People got mad about the fourth one because it was the more, I'm not going to say family friendly, but they toned it down. In the US it was a PG-13, which over here means nothing. PG-13s can be 15s or 18s or PGs or 12s. It's such a bizarre, it's such an interesting difference between Americans and Brits when you look at the rating system. But Montefori, I'd probably still say the first one's my favourite, but I think the third one is my second favourite.
Should we do the massively cliche "is it a Christmas film" thing as we're on the Die Hard topic? What do you need?
Yes,
it is.
It is a Christmas.
What do you need it to be a Christmas film?
Was that Christmas?
Yeah, it's at Christmas. It's about a Christmas.
I'd say yes and no, because I think at the end of the day, it can be quite subjective. I mean, to me it is, and I will watch it at Christmas time. When it starts getting dark at night and you get into winter, it is one of those films I feel like putting on. But at the same time, it's one of those subjective things. You could either look at it as just a standard action film where the setting is happenstance because the setting isn't integral to what's happening in the story. I mean, he does go to visit his family for Christmas, but he could still be just visiting his family any time of year.
But you could say that about westerns. If westerns weren't set in America in the West, then they wouldn't be a western.
But you do get specific characters on the western.
Yeah, but
But I see what you're arguing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I feel like people get too mad about it and too hyped, and I think they treat it way too importantly. So that's why I just say yes and no to please both sides. And at the end of the day, it wasn't made to be a Christmas film. But you can want it. If you want it to be a Christmas film, it is.
The choice was made there to make it at Christmas and make it someone coming home for Christmas and a Christmas party that gets attacked.
To jump in to support my argument, T2.
Yeah. I like the first one though.
I think the first one.
I prefer the first one.
I think T2 is.
No, it's.
I think it's not only one of the best action films, it's one of the best films.
I totally agree with that.
It transcends the action.
Everything about it is fucking incredible.
The effects still stand up. The story is actually ridiculously complex,
Yeah.
but like in an emotional way.
I like both, but yeah.
I do like the first one, but I feel like the Terminator ages, T2 doesn't.
Yeah.
T2 still feels like a contemporary film.
But then Terminator came out in 1980, did it come out? And
Yeah,
T2 came out in 1991. So.
Yeah, 84. So it would have been about...
was it?
Yeah, 1984, so it would be about a 7-year gap.
Not gonna lie, I do stand by.
Which is a big gap for a sequel.
Yeah.
I do stand by what I said, but I thought you were talking about Trainspotting originally.
No, Judgment Day came out in 1991.
Yeah, I said 1991.
You said 84?
Yeah, the first Terminator.
Oh, did it?
Because you said 1980 for the first Terminator. I went, no, 1980, 1984. And then the sequel came in 1991, 7-year gap.
Stop attacking me.
Did you come in? Don't be fucking...
Put the knife down, James!
Cauliflower is a traditional... You're damaging that...
Have you read Archer Theorem?
It's not traditional, Dad.
It's a book by Nietzsche. Chicken run.
Yeah.
What? Oh, sorry, I thought you said chicken run. That pissed somebody off.
Here's one to back up your argument. Toy Story 2.
Yeah, I was about to say that myself. Toy Story 2 to me is the best Toy Story film.
Yeah.
I personally don't. I love.
I love all of them.
I love all three.
Yeah,
I think
I
I don't even.
I was going to say it's the best one, most enjoyable. Second one, it's better than the first one. It's because the first one was still in there. To me, see, I think Lost World Jurassic Park is better than Jurassic Park, and that's a controversial opinion. I also think it's the best one because I think it's got the most interesting story and the most interesting visuals. To me, Jurassic Park and Toy Story are the same. They are effects projects, films they wanted to get into production because they were groundbreaking films for effects and so on.
Yeah.
So they put a loose story around an excuse to put those effects out. So to me, both the first Toy Story and Jurassic Park are good films, very good films considering what I think of them in that manner. But to me, they are. Toy Story was an excuse to show off what Pixar could do, and that was the story they put into it. And I think Jurassic Park was an excuse to show what Amblin could do, and that was the story they put to it. Whereas to me, Lost World and Toy Story 2 feel like there is more purpose, there is more of an overriding story, and more of an emotional weight to it. And I feel like Toy Story 2, it is a better film, better story than the first one, but it doesn't carry the overwhelming emotional weight of the third one, so it's more enjoyable. You can just casually watch the second one, you can enjoy it, whereas the third one you have to be ready for. You have to, you have to have lots of tissues. And I'm overly emotional, but I like that. I like that. I don't have to panic about watching the second one. There's a bit with Jesse, but
Yeah, that is.
but the second film has an overriding, just very positive feel about it.
Yeah.
So that's my argument for the second one. Feel free to agree. Yeah, disagree or agree. But that's my.
Good sense.
I'm being attacked again.
I agree.
I disagree on the Jurassic Park.
Absolutely fine. I know that's Lost World is I'm one of the people that's like.
I would have been happy if they just stuck at one Jurassic Park for like every sequel.
No.
I think it's kind of since have been
When I was younger,
much weaker.
Jurassic Park 3 was my favourite Jurassic Park.
Really.
Alan.
Talking dinosaurs.
Actually, I was really happy.
I just enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
I feel the third one is too largely judged. I'm not a massive fan of it. I think it's too largely judged. To me, the third one has always felt a bit like a TV movie. It has that sort of feel about it. But yeah, no, I
Remember, it's really short as well.
Yeah, I think that's what ties into
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But yeah, I've always loved Lost World. I think I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, I like the whole dinosaurs in America sort of thing. I like Jeff Goldblum's the lead.
Yeah.
I need that more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the later ones,
What do you think of the Jurassic one?
they're okay.
I don't like it. I got halfway through. I thought the first one was okay.
Yeah.
Halfway through the second one, I was like, this is crap.
I prefer the second.
Really?
I feel like Fallen Kingdom has the same effect on me as Lost World.
I thought it was really, really good.
I have this feeling that it's like, because Lost World and Fallen Kingdom are so similar. It's like, dinos in the USA. But it's, I think that's really just what I really like. If you put dinosaurs outside of this hidden island and you start introducing them to contemporary public, I start getting really interested in the idea.
Yeah.
I mean, the end bullshit, the whole welcome to Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, so there's dinosaurs walking around in a country where everyone and their mum has a fucking armed rifle. How long is fucking Blue going to survive? The moment somebody's a dinosaur, they're going to get mowed away.
Yeah. I don't know how long we're going to carry on this, doing the second thing and then seeing if you agree.
It's free flowing.
Yeah. Shrek 2?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's Shrek film.
Shrek, phenomenal. Shrek 2, life-ending.
Yeah. It's just Shrek, but then you've got Funky Town and Puss in Boots.
To be fair, I like all the Shrek films, even 3 and 4. They're not as good.
Yeah, there are.
But still, like Shrek the third, I thought was fun. It was just an excuse to get Rupert Everett being Prince Charming a bit longer. And he was funny. It's not an unfunny film. It's not shit. It's just not. 1 and 2 are just almost too good. That any sequels that aren't as good.
The fourth one's actually pretty good.
Yeah, final chapter. I
can't remember the
What
fourth
about Shrek the Halls?
Shrek the Halls is really good.
So good.
It's a bit. There's a bit in that always gets me. But like, it's where he's like giving cooking instructions to Fiona.
Yeah.
When he's playing Santa for the turkey. I was like, it's the way he mutters it to her really quickly. I can't remember how, but that just always makes me giggle because it's just like weirdly done. I quite like Puss in Boots as well.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Puss in Boots.
I thought it was fun. Yeah, I think it's a really, really nice film series. And I think the first 2 are just perfect. Aliens.
Yeah.
That's debatable because some people say
I don't know. I really like Alien 1.
because some people say it's a question of taste because you sort of have Alien, which is like a smart horror film in space.
But then there's so many things that are
Right,
like,
yeah.
So different.
there's so many sequels that are just like less intelligent versions of.
Yeah.
But there's just, like you could just say that about any sequel, really, couldn't you?
But at the same time, I've sort of thought I always value entertainment, and I feel like Aliens is just so much more fun.
Here's The Matrix.
Bitch.
I love Matrix.
I knew you would.
Oh, I hate
knew
it.
you would. No, it's
I'm always defending it. I like
You're like my
Revolution.
brother. Like he loves them.
I like Revolutions as well. I mean, I don't
Oh.
know. It's charming because when I was little, I didn't have enough cognitive ability until the last 2 come out. So to me, it's always been a trilogy. In that sense. I mean, I remember life before Reloaded. But Reloaded is my favourite out of all 3. I like the first. I love the first one. I think it's an awesome action film. I feel maybe some bits don't stand up as well, but some bits are a bit cheesy. But I like cheese. I like very stylistic.
The lobby scene was just like,
Fighting, the music, everything. It's fun. But Matrix Reloaded is just really.
it has its moments. The freeway chase is awesome and like
even when
Yeah, that is sick.
even when the effects don't hold as well, like when it's
Yeah.
fighting all those Agent Smiths.
I loved that when I was
I
young.
like
Scene
seeing
was
the
just
whole
incredible.
it's a bit pitchy in some ways, but yeah, I think it's like if there's one I go to, if there's one out of all three I go to, it's not just the second one. I always watch Reloaded. Angry Evolutions is my least favourite. I still like it. You know, a big mech battle. I'm a sucker.
That was kind of cool. Yeah.
And the Agent Smith versus Neo at the end is really epic.
No, it is.
In terms of its direction and just the emotion of building on, like, this feels insanely epic.
I didn't really get what they did with the Oracle though. You know, when she's like, I can only see up to choices or whatever. Well, like, but then everything's a choice. So you can't fucking see anything then, can you?
It's just basically like their answer to the ancient one, really, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like bullshit plot device. Yeah, no.
Well, it's not even a power then, is it? Because
I
like,
didn't mind the Oracle. I mean, the idea,
literally, like me moving my hand from here to here is a choice. So like, she's just not seeing anything.
the idea is she's meant to be like a predictor.
Fucking-
You know, she's
She's a fraud, is what she is.
She's the matrix of answers to predictive text. That is what she is. You know, it's same as Script, a program that's there to purge anyone who breaks the system. Everyone has to keep that system. I like what they do at the end of it. I like Agent Smith and Michael laugh in the third one. But yeah, the second one's my favourite. It's just pure entertainment.
It's Agent. That's it. That's Agent Smith in Rise of Skywalker.
Oh my god, it is.
So here's another one. The Dark Knight was a second in a series.
Oh, that's the best one in the series, I think.
I think, but after rewatching them all, I think Batman Begins is my favourite. Because it's Dark Knight. I think it's a better film.
Oh, I thought you were walking out.
Just sorting myself
I
out.
thought you were so
I
right.
disagree.
Sorry.
I think Dark Knight is probably a better film, but I enjoy Batman Begins more because it's a better Batman film.
Yeah.
It's a better.
I get what you mean.
Like, it's the most authentic to like the comic books kind of.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break my own rule.
And
Dark Knight's overrated.
No, it is.
It is.
It is overrated.
It's
I like
not.
it. It's overrated.
It's because, alright, I think it's rated because it's Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
And it's like, he plays a good psychopath, but if you want to be true to character, he's not a very good Joker.
yeah.
And same with Bale. Like, more people need to take the piss out of Batman because it's ridiculous.
It's Bruce Wayne's really good.
Yeah, well, it's really Bruce Wayne, but when he's there at the end of the film, you've got Heath Ledger, you know, regardless of how I feel about him as a Joker, I think he's still a good portrayal. Acting's hard, and his counterpart is someone.
But I don't. What do you mean it's not an accurate portrayal of the Joker? Like, what do you want him to be really campy? It wouldn't be. It wouldn't fit in with the film.
Well, the thing though is, I'm. If you want to extend my overrated thing, and I think this is where I can sort of save myself from breaking the second film's usually good.
Yeah.
Is I'm not a massive fan of the trilogy as a whole.
Yeah.
I do really like Batman Begins. Dark Knight, I don't mind, and Rises, I'm like, it's a fitting end to the trilogy. But
Bane's good.
as a big Batman
Bane's
fan,
great.
I can't fully subscribe to a Gotham that's presented as a real city.
Yeah.
And to me, it's more like an experiment that I just don't enjoy. It's an idea, it's interesting, but ultimately, to me, Gotham is a supernatural, unrealistic city. That's why I love the original 4 films from the 90s,
Yeah.
86, 90s, because that presents Gotham as it is. It's this massive Gothic, unrealistic, purple lights springing out buildings. And to me, that is Gotham. It's this place where all these wacky and loony, over-the-top characters exist, and Batman. And the thing is, Batman in the originals was always presented like a real character, like a real human being. And I like that. I can't remember who I was talking to you about this, but I like the fact that you have these real characters in an unrealistic scenario. It's not about the surroundings. They are human characters undergoing human problems and so on. There's a real deconstruction there, like when Bruce Wayne talks about his parents and so on. That's where the focus is. So you can buy into that. Whereas, so you have that, and then you can enjoy the rest. Like to me, I look at those things, I just think they're very visually pleasing and interesting, creatively. Whereas Dark Knight to me, it's a little boring because it turns a very interesting character into Jason Bourne. It's like you take the stylistic choices of Jason Bourne and apply them to Batman. And it's interesting, and it's creative by doing something different. But to me, it just doesn't work because I like Batman pure. I like unleaded Batman to be. I like Arkham Batman. I like unrealistic. I like the Joker to have massive cars which resemble his face. I like it
it's fair.
chuckle to himself as he just does loony, wacky shit.
I just don't. I don't think that. Who's it? Christopher Nolan. I don't think he's ever going to make that film, though, is he? In
Oh,
reality.
of course not. And that's what I'm saying, is I can appreciate it.
Yeah,
I always
yeah,
appreciate
fair.
it. And I just, it's overrated to me because I just can't enjoy. I just.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And to be fair, I don't really watch many other films in that genre. Like, talking about the Jason Bourne stuff. I don't mind Bourne films. Weirdly enough, Legacy's my favourite. Dawn and Jerry Maguire. And I like Bond, but again, Bond is quite territory, but Bond is.
Don't like Bond.
I got to the point where I'm not a huge fan
Can
of
we
it.
just stop reviewing it?
to me, Bond.
It's no. Talking about overrated films, there are so many overrated Bond
Skyfall
films.
is overrated. Skyfall's
Yeah.
overrated.
Mine-
I
Totally.
don't see. Yeah, Casino Royale. That's a really good
Yeah.
film. I really like Casino
My favourite's
Royale.
GoldenEye.
Oh really?
To me, I like Pierce Brosnan's era the best because it sort of takes all the best elements of the originals of the 70s when it really campy. Because it does still have that campy feeling with Brosnan. It takes that and applies it to a more contemporary setting. So you have the best of both worlds. And to me, for Bond to be right, to be authentic, and to be fun,
Yeah.
it's telling you have to have the one-liners, you have to have the gadgets, you have to have the wacky characters, the wacky villains.
The thing I think with a lot of Bond films is the first 15 minutes is always really, really good. And I always like enjoy the first 15 minutes. But like
And the rest
from the
happens.
point of it, like that's true of all of them.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it happens.
Kingsman, the first one, was so successful because it was what Bond is failing to do at the moment.
Yeah.
Be proper Bond.
The problem with Bond is it's the exact same film every time as well. I find like there's nothing new there. That's
Well,
why I'm not
that's why they
interested.
need to probably get rid of
Daniel
Craig
Craig.
and change it up now.
Yeah, like
It's mad how long he's been in the role.
Yeah.
I feel like if I've seen one Bond film, I've seen every Bond film. Like I can tell one that's a bit better than the others, but they're just I don't know. I feel like it's gone on for too long. Personally.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? It's, it's what we want to have it. Like, most people who go to watch Bond films just because they know what to expect. And
I
that's
suppose,
what they
yeah.
want, that's why so many people get like mad at like Last Jedi. When you subvert expectations, you're going to please people that like something new and different, but then there's the whole audience that have gone because they want to watch Star Wars and you sort of like you're deconstructing Luke Skywalker. They're like, no, I just want to see Luke Skywalker be a really good Jedi.
Yeah.
I want to see him show.
Apparently there was a Young Guns 2.
Yes.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I only know about it because I was on DVD.
The,
I really like Young Guns. I like.
I haven't watched it in ages.
No, neither have I. I've been.
All I do remember is that the first one was quite like a strong adult film. The second one was like 12.
Oh, really?
It was like quite a drop. That's all I do remember. Oh yeah, also exemption to the rule for my second film thing for sure is direct to DVD Disney sequels.
And Lion King 2.
Lion King 2, Simba's Pride.
Yeah.
I actually do kind of like Hunchback of Notre Dame too.
That, tell you what I love. The Aladdin sequels. Return of Jafar is amazing.
I quite like Return of Jafar. I really quite like King of Thieves.
Yeah, King of Thieves is good, yeah.
I'm not saying there's not one of that. Like, I wouldn't say it's as good as Aladdin, but I think it's still good.
No, yeah.
I think we can rest your 2 argument to bed with RoboCop 2.
I will present a counterclaim.
I don't mind it. That was me over bigging up how bad it is. I don't mind it that much.
It's not awful. My problem is, well, I guess most people's problem is that firstly, did it really need a sequel?
Yeah.
Secondly, if you were going to do a sequel, why would you follow probably the best bit of the film with Murphy, him confirming his name, his memories are back, he's gone through his journey of rediscovering himself, his memories, to then have him be literally generic robot in the second one where he's walking around with like a croaky robot voice
Yeah.
and just saying he's Robocop and so on. But overall, it's not a terrible film and it's entertaining.
I really didn't like the remake of RoboCop. Thinking back to it.
I thought it was alright.
I
didn't
It was
watch
better
it.
than I thought it would be.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I did.
I liked how they did something different. They didn't do the same story as the first.
didn't that have Samuel L. on it as well?
Yeah, he basically plays something Novak. Yeah,
It's
it's,
the news.
Djokovic.
it is quite funny when they start kicking off and they start bleeping. It.
Yeah.
Like, this mother. Just Samuel L. Jackson going for some. Oh, Cars 2's a shit film.
Cars 1's a shit film.
I like Cars.
I remember watching. I liked Cars when I was younger. When I watched
I
that.
still like Cars. I just think the second one's ridiculous. And I'm talking about a film where you're living cars driving about.
Isn't one of them? Doesn't he become a super spy?
Yeah, Mason gets like hired by a Michael Caine super spy car. It's like what the fuck? Like the first one was just a grounded story about
About a car,
a
yeah.
racer going to like a small town, rediscovering himself his roots through the coach character
Yeah.
of Hudson. It was a nice film. It was a nice one, yeah, for me at least. But the second film was just like, what the fuck happened? that was like a direct DVD sequel that somehow made it to the cinema.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen Psycho 2?
No. Didn't know there was a Psycho 2.
No, it's 3 and 4, isn't it?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
there is. And then
Do you know, there's a sequel to 2001 Space Odyssey?
Yeah, 2010.
I've never seen that either.
Yeah.
I imagine it is, but yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just.
Yeah. We know you don't think I have anything to say.
I've been proven right, haven't I?
Everyone's Saturday day.
It's every day actually.
Good. Back to the Future Part 2, I think it's better than the first one. Slightly controversial. Because I know that, again, that's another one where the first one is so innovative. Like, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
But I do prefer the second.
What happens in 2? Is that where
That's when
his,
they go to the future.
his stepdad?
Yeah, he meets like his,
Yeah.
he meets his kids, or he sees his kids.
Yeah.
I think I'm obsessed with like, the flying cars and like all the gadgets and stuff they've got. And I
I
like
like Borders also.
No.
Yeah.
Cars and chicken.
and I like part 3 as well, the
Yeah.
Western one.
Yeah.
But part 2's always been my favourite. Maybe because I'm a West fan of the 50s. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's my favourite.
Big remake was Dread.
Yeah.
Really like Dread. Dread was sick. Yeah.
I've not seen that in a while.
It's the bit at the end when all the other judges come in, like the
I got a bit of
the bribed ones or whatever,
Yeah.
come in and
Two bits
fight
always
some.
stick with me where he like jams a gun to someone's throat and it like leaves. It doesn't even puncture, it just shoots like a dent. in his
Yeah.
throat and he's choking like that's cool detail. And when he's crouched, is it Mama?
Mama,
yeah.
When she dies, it's like full on the camera, crushed.
Yeah.
That was cool. But at the same time,
Fair
I
enough.
still like it.
Very campy.
It is, I love campy, wacky, fun films, and I think Judge, I like Rob Schneider. I feel
Is
like
he-
he gets you.
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
He's a carrot.
Adam Sandler.
He gets to Rob Schneider, and he has for years. And it's like Adam Sandler's less funny friend, but he's done so many roles I like.
Jude Bigelow is a really funny film.
Yeah, I like Mel Gibson. I like his cameos in Sandler films, like Little Nicky.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I liked him in 51st Days.
I remember him in The Longest Yard. Doesn't he go like, "We win, group hug in the showers tonight"?
There's one that seems to be, I think, most people is post Sandler died. I really like how actually Chuck and Murray.
Yeah.
Never seen
I
that.
thought that was a really fun film. That's got Rob Schneider in it as an Asian wedding, Vegas wedding organiser. He's one of the quick chapels you can go into, and it's just funny. And yeah, it's an Asian stereotype piss take, but like, I mean, it's an Adam Sandler film, so I don't really know. I think you should sit back and just enjoy
Have you
it.
ever seen The Hot Chick?
Yes,
That film is fucking amazing.
The hot
that's a proper film.
Yeah, it's like a body swap comedy, and basically he's like some thief or something. He swaps bodies with Rachel McAdams. He's like a teenager.
That's totally forgot there's Rachel McAdams in there.
Yeah.
Forgot about that one.
Should we? We're getting on to 2 hours. 10
That's
minutes.
serious.
Should we?
So, podcast.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Should we?
Let's
Thank
wrap
you
it
for
up in
listening.
tinfoil.
Yeah, cheers for
Let's
listening.
into another happy landing. We'll see you next time. So yeah, thanks for watching.
Bye.
For watching
Goodbye from
the
Taker as well.
Okay, Tiger's
We
back!
haven't spoken to him in ages. He's just been sat there.
What's your favourite secret Tiger? What do you think?
Sequel, for Ragnarok 2.
Brilliant. PG-13.
Right, thanks
Cool.
for watching.